Welcome to take two. We did a take one with Mad Hatter, but nobody else was here because there was a technical difficulty. So hopefully we have fixed it now as we are here for the final episode about Fuji. If you have been joining us on the channel, you will know that there was 4 episodes of Mount Fuji, me climbing Mount Fuji with Shoto, and they were completely unedited. The complete walk from the 5th station up to the 8th station, and then at the 8th station where it was pitch black because my lights stopped working, I potentially gave up climbing Mount Fuji, and that's where we left the action. But I kept telling everybody that there was a final episode. Tonight we get to see that final episode. I've been promising it for a long period of time. Mad Hatter is back. Thank you very much, Mad Hatter. Sam is here. There we go. The stream is now working. Fantastic. Sam, we'll talk about your emails a little bit later because Sam's been messaging me something important about electricity in Japan, which is very important. So we'll cover that very soon. The O Show is here. Good day. Good day. There we go. I don't feel so lonely now. It was only Mad Hatter and I before. So the last episode of Mount Fuji, you saw me potentially giving up because it was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. I'm a blind man anyway. And you thought that was it. But there is another episode. However, unlike all the other episodes where we recorded the complete length of what we were doing, on this final episode, you get like an edited highlight pack because the light had broke. It's no good filming real time when it was pitch black, so that's why I had to edit it. That's why it took so long, everybody, to get this final episode to you. And this stream's going to be broken up into 2 bits, okay? We're going to see the video. We're going to see the final episode of my adventures at Mount Fuji. You are going to find out whether or not I climbed all the way up or not. The answer is not far away. And then after the video, we are going to come back. And then when we come back, I'm going to explain to you what we did wrong with climbing Mount Fuji, what a lot of people were doing wrong with climbing Mount Fuji, how you can climb Mount Fuji, and how to do it what I think the correct way. Because I believe that 99.999% of people that climb Mount Fuji do it wrong. And Bob's here as well, my mum. Hello, Bob. Happy 1st of December, says Sammy as well. So, without any further ado, and I hope you watch all the video because then we're going to come back and talk live about it all. The final episode, did I make it to the top of Mount Fuji or did I not make it to the top of Mount Fuji? You've all been waiting for months and months and months. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the final episode of the Mount Fuji experience. I can't do rocks.
Only here.
Are they steps there? Are they steps around there? I can't do it. Was that the path down?
Yeah.
That was the path down?
Yeah.
Was it? The down way is that way?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm going to do that, Shoto.
Okay.
I can't do it.
Okay, good luck.
Okay. Good luck, my friend.
Yeah.
Message me. Take some photos. It's so annoying. I'm so close to the top and it's stupid if I go back now. But I don't really want to do it. Shoto, wait. Hang on. I'm coming with you, but we've got to take it slow, alright? It's been 2 days and I nearly turned around and went back down, but I am so glad that I finally did decide to come up here to the top of Mount Fuji.
Would you like a tuna?
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, did I fool you? I didn't make it to the top of Mount Fuji, but you know, I think I could have, and a little bit later in the video, I'm going to explain to you how I think I could have got to the top of Mount Fuji, and if you're going to do Mount Fuji, what is the best way to do it. Now, before then, I didn't get to the top, but I did get to the 8th station, which was actually kind of fairly near the top. You can see on the screen now. However, Shoto did get to the top, and when he got to the top, I asked him if he could take a couple of photos and videos for us all to see what it looked like. So here's a selection of shots from the top of Mount Fuji taken by the wonderful Shoto. And while he was at the top of Mount Fuji, I was making my way down Mount Fuji in the pitch black. And I've got to say, it was kind of scary and really slippery as well. But I'm glad I went down when it was dark, because it was so steep and so close to the edge. I think if the sun was up, I would have actually frozen and been really scared of heights. But while he was up there, I was looking around the 5th station. And here's a little tour of what I saw. Down there is Mount Fuji. Well, here is Mount Fuji as well. But that's how you get up it. I've just come down Mount Fuji. It was a killer. And Shoto is still up there, my friend. So going to wait for him at the 5th station. That's where you catch a bus. So I thought I'd show you around, doing everything in reverse. This is where you have to scrape your shoes before you go up in the mountain, just so that you don't take any jibbies or things that shouldn't be up there. There's the 5th station there. Very early in the morning, 5:30 in the morning. And some rules and regulations. Stop! To safely climb Mount Fuji, a World Heritage Site, stop bullet climbing. Never bullet climb, seriously. It's very bad. And a heap of conditions going on there. Heap of conditions. The 5th station is still 2,000 meters above, well, the sea level. So just coming up here alone, you will see all the clouds and all that sort of fun stuff. Different paths that you can go up. We went up the yellow path, which is the easier one. All the other paths are much harder.
That looks like it's gonna go down to the...
Good luck. Take it slow. No, I only got to the 8th station. It was so steep, and the rocks, climbing them was so hard.
Okay.
I just gave up in the end. So. But take it really slow and drink a hell of a lot. Good, you're good. So later in the day, over here, there's horses. They can take you to the 6th station, just the next station up. Here's the information people out and about really early. Hello! Telling you all about the climb and any information you may need. And then over here, where is all the buses when they arrive? They haven't arrived yet.
5 a.m. Altitude is 2,303 meters.
203 meters. Okay, so that's the map there. I got up to the 8th station, so that's the 5th station there. The 8th station is... God, I don't even know where it is. There, I think. Or up there. No, up there. Where is it? First 8th station. Oh, I don't know. And Shoto went right up to the top, apparently. We hope so. We hope he's alright. We'll continue this tour in a second. I am going to get a drink out of the vending machine. So we'll be back soon to show you around the 5th station here at Mount Fuji. I'm knackered. Just realised I broke my camera lens. Anyway, I have a hot coffee here to get us going. This, when it opens up, will be the tourist shops down there, Torii Gate, and a shrine to pray. To I don't know, whoever you pray to make sure you get up Fuji. Let's look at a view. And there she is, Mount frigging Fuji. Shoto is up there somewhere. Look over here, you can see we're up in the clouds already. So coming to the 5th station is quite adequate. Really, if you don't want to do the friggin' hike, which I don't want to do again, ever, in my whole entire life. As the fog comes in, the weather, she changes very quickly on Fuji. First of the buses coming in with all the tourists for the day, about to climb up. Soft serve ice cream. Of course, that's what you want when it's freezing cold. Plenty of walkie sticks. What's this story? What do we got here? These are the Mount Fuji cookies. 750 yen. They're cool. Mount Fuji water bottles, shaped like Fuji, of course. And over here you've got the canned oxygen. It's bottled at the top of Fuji. Apparently good. What are these? Super Sand Mount Fuji. Okay, so there's stones. Volcanic stones. These are the mini sticks. As you go up, you can get stamps put on them at every station. You get the big sticks, but if you don't want a big stick, you can get a little stick. The stamps. Plenty of postcards and pictures. Some beautiful postcards. Not cheap though for a postcard, I have to say. What's going on here? Are these a Fuji foam sword thing? Plenty of wooden toys and footwear. Fuji bag? I was thinking of getting one of them, and I'd never put them on display. That's the walking trail we did. And a Fuji fan. Oh, I could get my mum a Fuji fan. She was quite upset, she was, that I was doing this. Nice little tapestry going on there. But, you know, we all must do things in life. These little Fuji cups look pretty cool as well. Pretty cheap for a tourist thing, I guess, at 13 Australian dollars. More Mount Fuji cookies. They're cool up there. Oh, look at the little boxes. Oh, they're cool. 900 yen. Chocolate mochi. Ew. I don't like mochi. Fuji socks. There's certainly they certainly cash in, don't they, on merch. More oxygen. Ichiban, number one. Number one. Oh, these look nice. These are cheese cookies. They look yum. Biscuity Fuji. Oh, they look yummy. And in between all the shops and the like, as the rain pours down, we have the Torii Gate we go through, which will take us up to a little temple. Shoto, interestingly, insisted that we did not climb Mount Fuji until he came up here, and threw his coin in and said a little prayer for us both. Looks pretty cool with the mist, doesn't it? And then finally, over here we have another shop. Lots of tourist shops going on here. I do hope you enjoyed that look at the 5th station here at Mount Fuji. Yes, you've been to Mount Fuji now. You've been here with us. This is Mount Fuji. And it was Mount Fuji. So there you go. That was the final episode of the Mount Fuji experience. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you weren't let down too much. Oh, the poll's changing around. It was 100%. It's now 50%. If you haven't voted yet, please do. I'm going to tell you how to climb Mount Fuji successfully, because there is a way. There's a lot I learned. But before then, I know a few of you have seen this on the channel before, but we have some new people, so you may not have seen it if you are new. And this is a keyring, of course, but this keyring you can only get at the top of Mount Fuji. You can't get it anywhere else on the planet Earth, and it literally just says you're at the top of Mount Fuji. So there you go. It's you've come to the top of Mount Fuji. Key ring right now. Oh, well, before then, a question as well. What I just joined. Well, Russell, go back to the beginning of the video before I continue talking now. So you go back, watch the beginning of the video now, and that will answer your question. Then catch up with the live stream, okay? Okay, say yes in the chat. Say yes. I want you to go back. If you're just joining us, I want you to go back in the live stream to the beginning of it, and not continue watching yet. Okay, I want you to watch then, and then I want you to forward the chat. Can you do that for me, Russell? A question the Osho said, what camera did I film it with? The best camera in the world, which was the DJI Pocket 2. This little camera, it is magnificent. It is like the best camera if you are traveling anywhere. And like, I know we all love the Pocket 3, which is out at the moment, especially the Osho. But you can't climb Mount Fuji with this camera because it will get knocked, it'll get banged, it'll get bumped, it'll break within like the first few minutes of climbing Mount Fuji. So you do need a hardy camera when climbing Mount Fuji or doing anything extreme. And the Pocket 2, I know there's the Pocket 4. Sammy's got the Pocket 4. I had the Pocket 1. That was nice. But I still reckon out of all the cameras on this planet, the best created, thought of, designed camera is the Pocket 2. It is a winner in every stretch of the imagination, and it's ever so strong. So if you don't have a Pocket 2, buy one. Not Pocket 2, Action 2. Buy one. I know they're up to the Action 4, I think. Is that right? They're up to the Action 4, but the Action 2 is the best. Russell has gone back to the beginning of the video. That is great. So we can talk about it now. How should you climb Mount Fuji if you're going to climb Mount Fuji? Let's just end the poll to start with. Okay. We climbed Mount Fuji. Oh, 2 votes. Wow, 2 votes. Woohoo. 1 for yes and 1 for no. Oh my God. I really wish I had people watching me. I don't know. Why don't I have people watching me? I don't get it. Anyway, we climb Mount Fuji as a lot of tourists climb Mount Fuji. And that being, we arrived at the 5th station late morning. We had some lunch. We started climbing. And we stayed at one of the stations along the way. We stayed at the 7th station. And then, of course, early in the morning, you continue climbing again. And this is all wrong. This is absolutely all wrong. And it's not the way you should be climbing it. You should not climb it at night, okay? It is dangerous. It is deadly to climb it at night. When you get higher up in the altitude, it affects your lamps or torches. So even though, like, I was using when it was working, I was using a camera light, a big camera light, which ground level, it would beam across, and basically you would be able to see, this way, forward, back, because it lets off a lot of light, and the pollution in the earth on ground level makes the light kind of like expand. But when you're up so high, like on Mount Fuji, even with that big camera light, the only place it was lighting up was bang, right where my feet were. So I couldn't really see anything else. There's 9 stations, so I got to the 8th. There's 9 stations. I was nearly at the top. I was 40 minutes away from the top. So you should never climb at night. You should only climb during the day. You should not stay at one of the stations on Mount Fuji like we did, for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's extremely expensive. It's ridiculously expensive. We paid, I don't know, $200-300 per person or something. It was crazy, right? We got good food up there. The people that were running these stations, it's their family business. They're doing a fantastic job. But the main reason why you shouldn't stay at one of these stations is you can't sleep. And you can't sleep for a lot of reasons. Again, the atmosphere, you're completely different atmosphere up there. You're overly tired by the time you get to them. So, you can't sleep. But finally, people are just really, really noisy, whether it be people clogging around the station or snoring. Snoring was so bad, like ridiculously so bad. You can't sleep at the station. So I had 0 sleep that night. So therefore, I was so fatigued. The main reason why I gave up was because I was fatigued, beyond fatigued. what I would do if I climbed Mount Fuji again is I would catch the bus to the 5th station. That's the bit you saw in the video there where the bus goes to. And I would stay at the 5th station overnight. That's where I would get the accommodation and I would get a good night's sleep on the 5th station. Then I would wake up really early in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I would climb the complete way up the top of Mount Fuji. Now, when I say do not climb Mount Fuji at night, it's too dangerous, you might be saying, but you want to climb at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Surely that's going to be dark, therefore dangerous. But if you watch part 1 of the video, you will see part 1 from the 5th station to the 6th station. That's the longest gap between stations. And that whole journey is on a flat path. You're not climbing up rocks. You're not doing this thing. You are literally zigzagging up a really, really horrible path. And I would say that is the worst bit of the whole journey. Because we were starting in the middle of the day, because you can only climb Mount Fuji in the summer, you're not allowed to climb it in the winter. It's got to be summer. It was extremely boiling hot. We're doing that zigzaggy thing. It's very steep, that zigzaggy thing, getting completely out of breath, getting completely overheated. It was the worst bit of the trip. So the next bit came along and we were buggered before we even got there. So I would do that first bit when it was completely dark, completely cool, and then when you got to the 6th station, the sun would be coming up and you can do the climbing up the rocks, which we did. Meaning you would get to the top of Mount Fuji early afternoon. And I know a lot of people don't want to get to the top of Mount Fuji in early afternoon. They want to get up there for the sunrise. But at the end of the day, what are you seeing with the sunrise? You're seeing the sun. Like the clouds are always there, you know, like I mean, you can climb Mount Fuji, there might be no clouds for the sunrise, you know what I mean? But generally speaking, there's normally clouds type thing. The thing I think people need to see on the top of Mount Fuji is the view. Like at the 8th station, the view was spectacular. At the 7th station where we stayed overnight, it was spectacular. You know, we were above the clouds, it looked magnificent, you saw it on video. So I would climb at Mount Fuji, get up to the top in the early afternoon, have a look around Mount Fuji in the early afternoon. It'll also be quieter because all the tourists would have buggered off by then because, again, they all go up to see the sunrise. They would have gone. Then after you've seen the top of Mount Fuji, you would make your walk down, at which point you would get down to the bottom before it got dark at nightfall. You've done it in a day. So that's how I recommend anybody do Mount Fuji. Do it in one day during daylight hours. Get up there just after lunch and then come down again. The two reasons why I had to give up, there was kind of three. So we are going to do Mount Fuji next December, then on to Sapporo for Christmas. Okay, you know, I will say yes to that, Russell. And you know why I'll say yes to that? You're not allowed to climb Mount Fuji in December. It's completely... Even now, you can't climb Mount Fuji. Mount Fuji season is gone. Mount Fuji season is only a small window every year. And once winter starts to head towards Mount Fuji, or Japan in general, Mount Fuji closes. You cannot climb Mount Fuji in the winter at all. There is a video on YouTube. It is still on YouTube even to today, where a YouTuber went up to the top of Mount Fuji in the winter. He should not have. And his camera was rolling the whole time. You see it all on YouTube. It's not been edited. It's not been deleted. And he slipped at the top of Mount Fuji and fell to his death. And they couldn't retrieve his body in the winter. So when the summer came along, they went up there to try find his body. And because Mount Fuji is so steep, and it doesn't look steep, but this is how steep it is, he fell down 3 stations. 3 stations he fell down, from the top of Mount Fuji, the 8th station, the 7th station, and his whole body was ripped to pieces the whole way down. So they didn't actually find his body. They found bits of his body between the top of Mount Fuji and the 7th station. So it is actually really dangerous. Even on the easy path, it's really dangerous. You need to be confident in what you're doing. Now, my health for my age, I guess I'm an active, sort of healthy person for my age. Not the healthiest person on the planet Earth, but kind of healthy. You saw how I kind of struggled. To be fair, I've got fake bits in my leg and my hip, which was causing me a massive problem, which it was. But the other problem was to climb up at night when my light went off. I know Shoto did it, but that's madness as far as I'm concerned. I could have tried, but, you know, just one wrong step and you're gone. One wrong step, you fall. And when you fall, rocks are very unforgiving. So there was no way, regardless of how fatigued I was, regardless that I was only 40 minutes from the top of Fuji, there was no way I was going to continue on without a torch. It just was not going to happen. I did want Shoto to climb later in the day, at which point I would have. I firmly believe I would have got to the top. But he didn't want to. He wanted to get up there for the sunrise. So be it. So, you know, my light gave up. It was like, I am not going to do this anymore. Absolutely anymore. Coming down with no light was extremely dangerous. In some ways, I'm glad I did. In some ways, I don't know how I never had a heart attack coming down, because it was so steep and so slippery that a few times I slipped over and slid. It is a different path going down. And that's the other thing as well. Once you start climbing Mount Fuji, once you get past the 6th station, right, you've got to then decide what's going to happen, because after the 6th station, you just got to keep going up, because if you try go down the way you came up, it is way too difficult. So therefore, the only exit route, the only alternative way on the way down is from the 8th station. That's when it kind of joins up with a down path. But as I say, even that down path is really dangerous. If I would have done that down path during the day, I would not have been able to do it. Okay? As much as climbing up Mount Fuji, I was dealing with my height issue because I'm scared of heights. I think I was doing pretty good with the heights. It was like, yeah, okay, I don't feel this too challenging with the height situation. A couple of times it was like, but, you know, I felt that because of the way the walk was, or the climb was, that if I was going to fall on the path we were doing, it wasn't going to be a long distance. However, the coming down path is right on the side of Fuji. Well, I know the path we were going up on was on the side of Fuji, but different. Like the path we were going on, Mount Fuji is like here, and we're climbing up here on Fuji, right? So there was lots of room to move. Coming down, the path is literally cut into the drop of Fuji, the really, really steep drop. And you see that going all the way down. There's no forest. There's no, oh my God, if I slide off this path, there will be another path to stop me. It is a fall. End of story. It's a fall. And it's very, very, very steep. You can't walk up it. That's how steep it is. And they say it's impossible to walk up. You can only walk down on the down path. And it's with all those little rocks, you know, those little slippery rocks. So your feet touch them and you just slide. So if I was going down during the day, I would have froze. I would have literally had to be emergency evacuated off Fuji. You're 52 and I hope to make it. Well, if you do it the way I've said, if you stay at the 5th station and then tackle it during one day, not two, I think you'd make it. You've got to take a lot of Pocari Sweat with you, which you should not be taking anything else up that mountain to drink. You should be just taking up literally Pocari Sweat and a lot of it. And salt tablets. I had the salt tablets as well, which you get from the chemist. And you should be really, really pigging out on them. Again, you can only climb Fuji in the summer. So it's going to be hot. It's going to be extremely hot. And then in the morning, it's going to be extremely cold. So now that I've sort of like assessed the situation on whether or not I could have got to the top of Mount Fuji, and now I realise the game plan of, yes, I could get to the top of Mount Fuji if I stayed at the 5th and continued on during the day. Do I want to attempt it again? And the answer is no. No, I don't. There's nothing in my body that says I want to do it again. I achieved what I wanted to achieve. I didn't think I'd get to the 8th station. I'm not embarrassed in any way, shape or form that I never got to the top. The 8th station is a lot further than a lot of people got. I managed my scared of heights issue. I managed getting up there with a partially fake leg. I managed getting up there as a blind man, and I got above the clouds. 40 minutes from the top. So I wasn't very far from the top at all. I would say 40 minutes would have been, 400 meters or something. Not far at all. So I was very, very close to the top. If I got to the top, would the view have been different from the 8th station to the top? But the answer is, well, no, not really. I mean, what's 400 meters? The only difference, I suppose, is you get to the top and you go, I've achieved it. I've got to the top. But it's just something I would never really want to do again. It wasn't I don't think it was a pleasurable experience for anybody, really, and I really don't. I don't. I don't know. If you climb mountains, it might be good for you, but yeah, I don't know. It's commercialized in a way because there's shops all the way up Mount Fuji. I don't know. What do you think? What is the temp up there in the summer? Oh my God, it was so hot. So hot. And the humidity was ridiculous. I think the day we climbed, it was like 32 or 35 degrees or something with 1,000,000,000% humidity. It might have even been hotter. Might have been 36, 37, I don't know. It was ridiculously hot. But it is the only time of the year they let you climb Fuji. So, if it rains, for example, you will not be allowed, like if it rains heavy, you won't be allowed to climb Mount Fuji, even in the summer. Dylan on the channel was climbing Mount Fuji just a couple of days after we were climbing it in the middle of the summer. And he only got to the 8th station when they closed down Mount Fuji. The rangers said, the weather is too bad, it's too dangerous, you've all got to go down. So even in the middle of the summer, there's no guarantee you will get to the top, because at any time, if the rain comes in or a storm comes in or a typhoon comes in or anything at all, they can literally close down Fuji. And, that's what happened to Dylan. They just closed it down, which I suppose would have been annoying for him because he has been to the top. He can get to the top. And he got all that way to the 8th station, and they said, you got to turn around, you got to go back down. So he never really saw anything going up. He never really saw anything going down because of the rain. Luckily, when we started the walk, it was raining for us. If it was sunny, we would have given up between the 5th and the 6th station. The first leg we would have given up. That's how hot it was. It was crazy hot. The first leg is the hardest leg. It really, really, really is. And the rain was a godsend because it kept the sun away, and the sun is brutal because there's no shade on Mount Fuji whatsoever. You can't carry umbrellas or anything. But the rain was sort of helping us to keep a little bit cool because it is just so steep. Even Shoto was not getting out of breath, but Shoto was really, really, really hot from the hike because it is so ridiculously steep. So yeah, is it worth doing? No. If you are a tourist and you want to be above the clouds and be to Mount Fuji, just go to the 5th station. Because that's above the clouds. That's where the bus goes. Just go up there and have some lunch and spend the day. And if you want to, maybe walk up to the 6th station. You can even take the horse up to the 6th station. And you've done Fuji. You've been above the clouds. You're going to get a spectacular view. From the 5th station to the top, what is a rough walking time? I can tell you because we posted the complete length of time on the channel. the complete unedited videos. So let's have a look at the complete unedited video time. Let me look. Now, I did turn off the camera, of course, when we stopped and had a drink. But, yeah, okay. So, Mount Fuji, 1.5, 2.5, 3. So, I would say from the 5th to the 8th station, 3. I would say about 4.5 hours. At a guess, and then from the 8th station to the top another 40 minutes. So you do it in about 5 hours. 5 hours of hiking from the 5th station. If you climb from the first station, you'd be mad because there's a bus. It would take you a lot longer. But say 5 hours of continuously going up. That's the thing. It's not like you go up and then there's a flat bit and then you go up and there's a flat bit. It's like you're going up and up and up and up and up and up. And we went on the easy path as well. There are a number of different paths and there's some harder paths. So yeah. About 5 hours. But as I say, people usually start in the afternoon. They do a few hours. You know, they do 4 hours, 4 hours, and they stay on Mount Fuji, and then they do the rest the next day. The other thing is, as you get further up, the paths get narrower, or the rocks get narrower. You're going up gets narrower, and because Mount Fuji has a lot of people climbing it, you know, they're looking at cutting out a lot of the tourists because there was too many people climbing it this year. So you actually get congestion on Mount Fuji. So the last 40 minutes should only take 40 minutes to get from the 8th to the top. If you go up there for the sunrise, because of the congestion, because of the amount of people, the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people trying to get to the top, that 40 minutes can turn into 2 hours, can turn into a lot more. So, you know, take that into consideration as well. I mean, even not getting to the top 40 minutes from the top, I think I can officially say I've done Mount Fuji. It is a Japan thing. We discussed this before I did Mount Fuji. That's why I did my last trip. I wasn't going to do Japan on the last trip. I wasn't going to Japan at all. And there was just something stuck in my head saying, you have to climb Mount Fuji. And I don't know why I'd want to do something like that. I've never done anything like that. But it would not leave my head. It was like, you need to climb Mount Fuji. You want to climb Mount Fuji. And I spoke to a lot of people. Dylan, again, was one. And apparently it is a Japanese thing. It's called the Mount Fuji effect. And people that start to fall in love with Japan, this whole Mount Fuji thing actually is a real side effect of people falling in love with Japan. It actually plays on your mind. It's like the final challenge to Japan. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I've been a tourist. I've done the tourist thing. I now have to conquer Mount Fuji. And then it's like, I am no longer a tourist. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've done everything the country has to offer. So, yeah. I think you do more of Fuji than I ever will. Well, you know, Mount Fuji did you. Mount Fuji did do me. I certainly, if Shoto wasn't with me, so my game plan actually worked very well by taking Shoto with me. If I never took Shoto with me, I would not have got that high at all. He was a complete inspiration, and he was very kind in, you know, waiting for me and putting up with me. But yeah. You live at Ayers Rock for 6 months, never climbed it once. Mount Fuji is a lot bigger than Ayers Rock, I tell you. But yes, I know what you mean. I haven't climbed Ayers Rock in my lifetime either. I've never climbed anything in my life before. Mount Fuji is a tourist thing. It is, but as I say, it's how are you, Duxu? If you've been to Japan a few times and you really fall in love with the country, it's called the Mount Fuji effect, and it plays on your mind. It's like, I've done the country. Does the country accept me? Is Japan ready to accept me? I must conquer Mount Fuji, and then Japan will say, yes, you are welcome in the country. We have thrown the most difficult thing at you, and you've done it with pride, type thing. It's weird. It's weird the way Fuji plays on your mind. It really is. And the other thing as well, when you're on Mount Fuji, you can't see Mount Fuji. That's the other thing as well. Mount Fuji looks beautiful from a distance. When you're on it, you don't see Mount Fuji. You don't see it. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. If you want to climb it. Take my advice. Be careful, though. Don't go above your fitness levels. Or, people... And this is the other thing as well. The Osho is you're in your 50s. Most of us are around that age. Some are older, some are younger here. But don't be fooled. Even though, there were paths and you've seen the unedited videos on the channel, every year dozens and dozens and dozens of people die climbing Mount Fuji. Okay? It's not an exaggeration. It is a real thing. A lot of people die climbing Mount Fuji, whether it be somebody like us and we think we're healthy and we climb it and we go, oh my God, we're out of breath. We're just going to push our body a little bit more and we keep going and having heart attacks or slipping and falling. Every year people die climbing it. Okay. So if in doubt, don't do it. And again, once you get past the 6th station, between the 6th station and the 8th station, you got to keep going up. You got to keep going up. So you've got to sort of go, okay, at the 6th station, do I want to do this or not? That's when you need to make the choice, right? Because once you continue, you're not coming down again to the 8th station. Yeah, really, people die every year on Mount Fuji. A lot of people die from it. You've fallen off 3 cliffs, 47 foot, 72 foot, and 162 foot, and I'm fine. I don't know if you're fine, Roderick. We've had many discussions with you, Roderick. I don't know if you're fine, but yes. 59 foot from a tree to the lowest branch, 22 feet off the ground. Ouch. I think it would take me a week to climb it. As I say, if you did it the way I suggested, I think you could climb it in a day. And I think that is the wise thing to do. Forget about the sunrise. Throw the sunrise out of the window completely. You don't need to see the sunrise, even though with Shoto's footage that you saw and you go, oh, that looked real pretty. The sunrise is only for 5 minutes and then it goes. It's like, oh, that's pretty. Oh, just start the 5th station overnight, start climbing at 3 o'clock in the morning. At 3 o'clock in the morning, go to the 5th station and the 6th station. By the time you get to the 6th station, the sun will be coming up. Then climb the rocky bit up to the top of Fuji. Get to Fuji by just after lunch. Have some lunch at the top of Mount Fuji. Have a look at the top of Mount Fuji. Start coming down again about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You'll be back down at the bottom by 5. On the bus back to Tokyo. Boom. That's how I would do it. So the way tourists and way most people do it, I think, is completely wrong. And again, do not climb it at night. Dylan has. Dylan is a very healthy man, though. Okay? Don't climb it at night. Just, it's a silly climbing it at night. But, yeah, it took everything out of me. No doubt about it. I was, well, you saw in the video, I was out of breath. I was knackered. 60 plus foot drop into a 14 foot of snow. Upside down skiing. But see, you fell on snow. So I know snow can be hard, but you fell on snow. When you fall from Mount Fuji, you fall on very sharp razor rocks. Yalara for you laser climb. Ayers Rock about 5 times now. Can't climb it now. It's so sad you can't climb it now, but I'm so glad that all of you are calling it Ayers Rock. I'm very glad in that. So there will be a Fuji part 2. No, I like the overpowering horribleness that I was getting of you must climb Mount Fuji has gone now. It's completely gone. As I say, I have no shame or feelings whatsoever that I didn't get to the top. I got to the 8th station. There's no shame whatsoever in the 8th station as far as I'm concerned. What does the 8th station have to offer that the top has to offer? You can see the crater at the top, I guess. But, you know, I don't know if I would have seen the crater because I would have been too scared to go anywhere near it. So yeah, the whole I've done Mount Fuji, I've done it. And I think by getting to the 8th station, I can say to people, I've done Mount Fuji. There's no way that I would say, you know, I failed Mount Fuji. That's not the case. So many people were turning around way before the 8th station. You know, people were turning around at the 6th station. It was so brutal to get to the 6th station on those ramps. And as I say, that was flat ground. That was just ramps going up like this, zigzag ramps. Hey, they were brutal. They were shocking. But, you know, people were going there as well with little children and elderly people and that, not realising how difficult it actually was. Some people actually told me, they go, oh, it's a path all the way up the top. There's no path all the way to the top, I'm afraid to say. You got to climb rocks. Or call it Australia Rock. Yes. Yes, I worked there as a chef for 6 months. Oh, nice. You threw a dingo on the barbie, did you? So what is the next mountain? No more mountains. Absolutely no more mountains at all. As I say, I think once you've done Fuji or try to climb Mount Fuji or just... I think that's the pinnacle. I don't think there's anything... I think then Japan becomes sort of like a... You know, okay, you know, I've done Japan. Japan's just like the chill out place now. Do you know what I mean? Like before you do Mount Fuji, you think you haven't done Japan. Or that's how I was thinking. It was like, you know, I know I've been all around the country. I know I've been to all these places and had experiences all around the country. But there's this big thing, this big icon, the big, you know, the logo on everything, the thing that everybody... You know, you say Japan, everybody goes, Fuji, you know, you go, draw me a picture of Japan, Fuji, you know what I mean? It's like, that is the number one thing. Once you've done that number one thing, you know, that's it. You've done the number one thing. Maybe a hill. I think the next thing I climb will be the escalators to level 1 of a shopping centre. You will have another calling to climb it the next... Yeah, you know, I don't think I will. You know, Shoto, I don't think ever wants to climb it again. He's Japanese, of course, born and raised in Japan. He's never climbed Mount Fuji. He only climbed it because I asked him. He said, oh, yeah, this would be pretty good. His mum did climb Mount Fuji when she was younger. She's never wanted to climb it again. She's done it. It's like, I've done it. I'm content. And that's the thing with Fuji. Once you've done it, even if you only do a bit of it, it's like, yeah, I'm content. I've done it. It's cool. Until you've carted through Tokyo, Russell sent us a video of his cart breaking. I was telling people this the other day, Russell, of you on Rainbow Bridge breaking down. Scary as hell, man. I think that's more scary than Fuji. Jumped off the bridge 110 metres high, for Glide National Park Mountain. You know, I've abseiled a few times down cliffs and bits and pieces in my younger days. I've done that. But, you know, jumping off a cliff or jumping out the plane or, you know, stuff like that, of course, it's extreme stuff. And, you know, good on you, Roderick, for doing that. As I say, I used to abseil. But until you... I think climbing Mount Fuji is completely different to climbing any other mountain, even though Fuji's a volcano, any other mountain in any other country. And it's because of the symbolism of it. It's because of what Mount Fuji is. And again, you're climbing it not acclimatized to their climate. You're climbing it as a tourist. You're climbing it for alternative reasons. You know, you don't know what to expect. You haven't prepared for it. Usually you're a middle-aged person by the time you climb it. And so therefore, you know, you're not as healthy as what you were 20 years ago type thing. So, you know, I think I think what I'm trying to say, Roderick, is even though you've done more extreme, absolutely more extreme things and more challenging things, Fuji is not... Fuji is not the you know, oh my god, you know, I've climbed a mountain type thing. Fuji is the... I don't know, it's like Japan, the country, not the people, the country, the block of land. It's like, yes, we accept you now. You have climbed me. Do you know what I mean? It's like it is the symbol of Japan. It is the symbol of Japan. That's it. You know, now when you look at any flag or any poster or any travel brochure or anything at all, because it's all got Fuji on it, that is what represents Japan. And you can go, I've done that. I've done that representation of Japan. That's what the difference is. Will you climb Shibuya Sky? Yes, in an elevator. That's very good. Drive a most of American man and passes. Fiji is more Fuji is more symbol than a mountain. It is, and that's the point. You don't climb Mount Fuji because Mount Fuji is not it's not like climbing Everest, for example. It's not like climbing many other mountains which are much bigger than Fuji. Fuji is the symbol of Japan. That's what I mean. It's like, that's why you climb it. You're not climbing it for any other reason apart from the symbol of Japan. It's like, you know, I'm in this country and there's this thing looking over you and it's Mount Fuji, and, you know, Tokyo, Greater Tokyo is the biggest city on the planet Earth. And you are so small and so insignificant in Tokyo, though it's very welcoming, of course. You can never achieve to do all of Tokyo in your life. It is impossible to do that. So you in some ways, you never feel like you can win or achieve in Tokyo. You know what I mean? It's too big as a tourist. So this is where Fuji comes into it. Fuji is the symbol. Is the symbol of Japan. I'm going to climb up Fuji because Japan is not so, you know, big and all that sort of stuff. Any pictures of the top? We showed it in the video earlier, Roderick. If you do, did you use Fujifilm? No, I used the DJI Pocket 2, but that was a very good call, Fujifilm. Digress very quickly, just while Sammy's here. Sammy's heading to Japan very soon. He has an electric wheelchair, and he emailed me a few times and he said, I need a step-up converter because Japan is 100 volts. We are 240 volts. His wheelchair is 200 volts, I think it was, to recharge it. At which point I said to him, you do not need a step-up converter, okay? If your voltage is higher than 100 volts, it still will work in Japan. It just means it will take a little, it will take longer to charge. So, for example, Sam, if your wheelchair takes an hour to charge, it's now going to take 2 hours to charge because the voltage is lower. However, if you buy stuff in Japan and bring it back to Australia, you do need a step-down converter, not just one of those plugs that changes it from, you know, Japanese to Australian or Japanese to English or whatever. You need a step-down converter, which is a big chunky box that takes your 240 volts or whatever it is in your country and turns it in to 100 volts. And if you do not buy a step-down converter, if you do not buy one of them and you plug in a Japanese product in your country, it will go on fire, which I learned. So there you go. Stepping up, you don't need to worry. Stepping down, you need to worry. Next, paddle around Japan. Well, I've done the ferry around Japan, so that's kind of like paddling around Japan. Kayak, you can. Kayaking around Japan, that's a thing. Yes, you can do that. I don't want to do that at all. I don't know. I like the Mark cycle around Japan. I have actually thought of that. I have honestly thought about doing a cycle in Japan. It's pretty flat-ish. Chris Broad did a live stream with him and Connor, two YouTubers, where they rode around Japan, and there's pretty good cycleways and yada yada. They did it very quick because they were doing it for charity, so they did get a little bit tired. But I think if you spread it out, riding around Japan would be perfectly fine. Sail around Japan, well, I did on a ferry. How long is a ferry around Japan? Well, I did a lot of ferries around Japan. And I used it for accommodation, the Osho. So there's like hundreds of ferries in Japan. It's a terrific network. So I worked it out that I would only board the ferry late at night. I would sleep on the ferry, and then I would be at the next town or the next city the next morning very early, at which point I would get off the ferry and look around the next town. Wonderful. You know what I mean? Wonderful. So I took many ferries over 21 days to do the country. Okay? But if you just wanted to catch a ferry and go from like Sapporo to Kagoshima, you can do that in 3 days. Three days, 2 nights for that complete trip. But I did, Sapporo to Sendai, then Sendai to Nagoya, Nagoya to Kagoshima to somewhere else. I did a lot of ferries, right? I was backwards and forwards, up and down. And each ferry is different. The different ferry companies offer different services on there. And again, there's videos on the channel if you have a look. The ferries are not like a ferry that you would experience in Australia or England, as an example, or even America. These ferries are literally a step under a cruise ship. They're actually better than a P&O cruise ship, an Australian P&O cruise ship. So you get your accommodation included on there, and they have live entertainment. They have cinema on there. They've got restaurants on there. They've got food courts on there. They've got gaming arcades. They've got vending machines. They've got beautiful scenery. They've got relaxing lounges. Everything you can imagine on the ferries. I thoroughly... And you know what? I thought I was going to get bored on these ferries. I had to go on the ferries because I had no accommodation in Japan. I was going to Japan with zero money. And I thought I'm going to be so bored on these wretched ferries. I never got bored once. It was like the best thing. One of the best things I've ever done in life. They got onsens on the ferries. There's nothing like sitting in a beautiful hot onsen, and I was traveling in the winter, so you're looking at all the snow and the snow on the mountains, and you're sitting in this beautiful hot onsen just watching the world go by. It was so good. And of course we get to go past Fukushima power plant, the one that melted down. Got to see that as well. So I guess don't buy a Japanese toaster. You can buy a Japanese toaster. I want to buy a Japanese toaster, Sammy. I will most probably do that when I go to Sapporo, because I already have a step-down converter. I have a step-down converter here. If you want to see what a step-down converter looks like, let me know. And with the sidecar for Bella, do you know you could take your dogs on the ferry as well? They have playgrounds on the ferries for dogs. Rickshaw, that'd be good. Helicopter bungee jumping, no. The Manly ferry is better than a P&O cruise. Oh, P&O cruise. I went on a P&O cruise once, and it was like the budget Bogan Bali holiday for the Eastern Staters. It was so bad. It was disgusting. It was feral. Pick one: skydive or climb Mount Fuji. Climb Mount Fuji. I would never skydive. There you go. That was easy. I would never skydive. Never in this whole entire world would I ever skydive. Mark likes hot ferries. Ferries. Yes, that's right. Yeah, New Zealand. So an Australian P&O ship was heading to New Zealand, and New Zealand refused to let it into its water because it said it was too dirty and a biohazard, which they are. Disgusting. P&O ferries are absolutely disgusting. I think it says a lot about people. Yeah, I know. You shouldn't judge. I judge people by where they go on holidays or what they do. And when people go, it's our third P&O cruise we're going on. It's like, yeah, I know what sort of person you are. It's just like, yeah, no, it's just horrible. I had some of my luggage stolen on the P&O cruise by the staff. The staff were all English backpackers. It's like a really bogan thing, the P&O cruises. My friends were laying on their bed and the ceiling collapsed. Our toilet, the sewerage was coming out of it all through the carpet. It was just feral. And everybody smoked on the boat. Like, you had this dumpy little pool, really dumpy little pool, and there was like a shelter over part of it. The people sat around the pool. The children and that are in the pool, which looked really dirty anyway. But like everybody smoking and everybody was pissed. That's all the people on the boat for were just to drink, literally just to drink. And they were so drunk and they were so feral, the people on this boat. We went to one place, I think it could have been Lufu, little poor country. And we were in Lufu, and you would hop in these vans and it would take you into the township of Lufu. And again, all the Australians were drunk in the vans because they were drunk off the ship, and they were just, being loudmouth idiots. And two things happened on that trip which really made me sort of go, I am so embarrassed to be Australian. And the first one was, there was a little boy and a little girl in a graveyard that we drove past. And I don't know whose grave they were at. It could have been auntie, it could have been mum, it could have been anybody at all. And these bogan Aussies were hanging out of the van, abusing these young children. Rotting in the ground, and yeah. And I thought, that's really disgusting. And then when we got into the town, and everybody was pissed. There was a little lake, like a little picnic area. And these families of Lufu, and a very poor place, they've got nothing. They don't have internet or pay TV or anything. So these families, mum, dad, and the children were all having their little picnic, very basic picnic, sandwich or something, and they're all down by this little lake. And this woman off the boat, this Australian, she walked into the lake up to her ankles. She dropped her knickers, she lifted her dress, and she just urinated into the lake while all the family and all the children were watching. And all the Australians are like, yeah! And it was shockingly embarrassing. And it's not the only time I've been embarrassed by the Australian tourists. I've been in Kuala Lumpur, and I was in the only 5-star hotel I've ever stayed at, because I don't believe people should stay in 5-star hotels, because they're pointless. They're just pointless. They're a waste of money. They're pointless. If you're spending your whole holiday in a 5-star hotel, why the hell are you going on holidays? Right? As long as I have a clean bed, a clean shower, it's quiet and it's safe, that's all I need. But anyway, we're at this 5-star hotel, and they had this, lounge bar at the bottom where you would have your drink before you went to bed, and you'd hear the pianist. And these Aussies were down there, play some AC/DC and all this sort of crap. And the pianist is just sort of like, and the staff were being as friendly as they could. And this girl in the group, she would have been 20-something, in her 20s. She just threw up everywhere, all over the lounges, all over the floor. And they're just laughing. And one of them fell on the floor and is like, I can't get up and everything. And they left. They didn't apologise. They didn't help try clean it up. They didn't do anything. And they just thought it was really funny that their vomit was all over. And it embarrasses me. It absolutely embarrasses me. It is absolutely shameful. So, here I have a small insignificant YouTube channel trying to convince people to go to Japan, and I'm in some ways I'm glad that not many Australians watch me, because they might actually go to Japan. I'm very happy for the Australians to go to Bali, because they misbehave in Bali. This is what they do in Bali. So, let them go to Bali and let all of us go to Japan, where, we can have some decency over there. Jetstar to Bali. Oh, I know. Live on a train for a week or a month. I've done that. I do that in Japan, Roderick. I live on the train in Japan for a month every time I go. I do that. Do you not watch my channel? I do that. They put wheelchair rooms in expensive hotels. Yeah. But, I mean, the cheaper the hotel, the smaller the rooms have to be. So, I guess you have to go a certain price. The other thing I think that should be compulsory, and I've said this before, which Australians do not do, and that is the majority of Australians never get travel insurance. And if you don't have travel insurance, you should not be allowed to leave the country at all. Because I am fed up every morning of hearing, give to a GoFundMe, or turning on the TV, give to a GoFundMe, we're stranded, we're in hospital. We got drunk and we rode on a motorbike without a helmet and we fell off and we smacked our head and now we're in a coma type thing. Give to the GoFundMe, we don't have insurance. You don't have insurance, you should not be allowed out of the country. But these Bali bogans that go on the Jetstar flights over to Bali, none of them have insurance ever. It's crazy. in Chicago. What do I want to go to Chicago for? Why do I want to go to Chicago? I don't need to go to America, Roderick, because I live in America. It's called Australia. Australia is America. You're getting travel insurance. Everybody should get travel insurance. I made Victor get travel insurance. He was not going to. And I said, if you don't get travel insurance, Victor, you're not leaving this apartment. You are not going to go to the airport. I refuse to let you go to the airport. I will lock that door. You will never leave this apartment until you have travel insurance. You are not. Anyway, he got travel insurance. Definitely needed it. Yeah, absolutely need travel insurance in America. It's always somebody else's problem. Yeah, it is. And it's just beyond a joke, you know. Travel insurance is not expensive for what it offers. I've claimed on my travel insurance a few times, and without the travel insurance, I would have been absolutely screwed. It should be compulsory. And if they don't know how to enforce it to make it compulsory, well, I mean, it could just be checked by immigration when you leave. It could be that simple. But if they don't want to do that, then the government should say that it's got to be in the airline ticket or whatever. You know what I mean? You pay a higher airline ticket, but it includes your insurance. I've got travel insurance when going to the mainland. Well, you need travel insurance when you go to the mainland because it's pretty feral on the mainland. You never know what's going to happen. Drove to heart of Mexico in 1990 without travel or Mexico car insurance. I was lucky. We don't need car insurance in Australia that I know of. I don't think it... maybe Sydney, I think car insurance is compulsory. But I don't think it's compulsory anywhere else. I stand to be corrected. But, like, if something happened... Like, even... like, Dad died in Melbourne. We didn't think we needed travel insurance in Australia. It costs a lot of money to take Dad's body back to Perth. If we had travel insurance, it would have cost nothing. There's people stuck in other countries, and some countries don't let you out of hospital until you pay the bill. But that's what I mean, Sam. Australians go on TV and Facebook and that every day. I've injured myself. This has happened. This is happening. We don't have any money. What about your travel insurance? We don't have travel insurance. Well, what do you want us to do about it? Give to the GoFundMe. No. If you don't have travel insurance and you've gone over there to be an absolute dickwad and get drunk and ride motorbikes without helmets and all this stupid stuff, then no. Kangaroo accident insurance. Yeah, that's what they should call it. That's a good name. Kangaroo accident insurance, where you will bounce back after any emergency. There you go. There's a good thing. That's a really good thing. So yeah. So I'm glad we go to Japan because Japan is not bombarded with the Australian tourists. There's a lot of American tourists in Japan, but they're only in the tourist areas, as I keep saying. Dickwads, yeah. Have you not heard dickwads before? I literally just got an insurance ad. Things... YouTube, Google, everything listens to you. The guy that's living in the house at the moment, he said something the other day. What was it? Something I've never searched, never looked for, nothing. Never in my whole wildest dreams. And then I picked up my phone and I opened up Facebook and I had an ad for exactly what he was saying. And it was like, whoa. That's a funny thing as well when people go about, my privacy. You're online. Like, what privacy? You have no privacy. If you want privacy, you need to not be on Facebook, Google, YouTube, anything. Because all of them listen to you. You know what I mean? It's like you and your... you need a GoFundMe. A GoFundMe, you mean? GoFundMe. What was he talking about the other day? Duxu, are you going to be joining us all for 2024? Christmas in Sapporo for 2024. That will be very good. Sapporo J, I don't know where Sapporo J is. I've been trying to send Sapporo J a message, but haven't been hearing back from him. You keep getting ads for Japanese-related products. Yeah, Karen. Oh, my God. Don't say the word Karen. I hate that American Karen crap that has come here. It is so childish. Oh, my God. Like, what is wrong with America and the stupid, childish crap they come out with? Oh, you're a Karen. What the hell is this? Oh, you're a Karen. Oh, but no. Seriously, America needs to grow up. And I say this because, you can't say this word because you're white and only a black person can say this and only a black person can't say this, but a white person can say it's just so childish. Oh, my God. And the thing is, we are that now in Australia. We are now America in Australia. And all this kiddie crap is here now. You hear it all the time, and then you hop on public transport and you hear like, and like. Oh my God. But this Karen thing, seriously, I don't know who started it, but it's really got to stop. It's like zip, stop. It is childish, it is immature, it is stupid. Okay? If somebody is being a knob, you call them a knob. You call them a dickhead. Okay? Oh my God, you're a Karen. It's just so childish, right? If somebody is being an idiot, you go, pull your head in, you're being a dickhead. That's what you say. You don't stand there with a camera. And they're always there with a camera, aren't they? They go, oh, look at the Karen. Look at the Karen. Oh, I'm going to upload this to TikTok. Everybody's going to watch this. Oh, Karen. Oh. Soapbox channel. I always say every time I live stream, I'm not getting on my soapbox, and then you all push my buttons, and then I get on my soapbox. Number one in ignorance. It's crazy, Roderick. Oh, I tell you. It's just, and it is. It's annoying because, and Americans overuse the stuff as well. Like, you watch them go in the shop, here they are with their camera. Oh, I got my camera. Oh, I want to buy this cigarettes. You're not old enough to buy cigarettes. Oh, you're a Karen. It's crazy. Hello, David. An F-wit, a fuckwit. Yes. Just say it. Just say it, David. Just say it. 20 minutes of Joe Ward Stretcher. They're just words. That's the other thing I have about America. We've discussed this on the channel many times before. When they go, oh, you can't say that. It's a black person's word. Grow up. Oh, I'm offended. Oh, you called me this. I need counselling now for the next 20 years. And so they're friggin' words. Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never harm me. Right? Come up to me and punch me. That hurts me, right? And I will say, don't do that again. But if you come up to me and go, oh, you four-eyed, stupid, spastic, dickhead, you used to be called all of those names. Do you think they bothered me? No. Why? Because they're just words. America needs to grow up when it comes to words. Seriously. They're just words. A good example, in fact, Victor the other day, and this is how, like, an Americans say to Australia, you can't say this, it's very offensive. I don't know if you know this, if you're in Australia, you'll know this, but Victor the other day, because he comes from a certain part of Asia, like Korea and Kuala Lumpur, etc., they give a greeting, or they say peace, or they say thank you by doing that. Right? That. So Victor's at the airport saying to the check-in staff and everything, oh! And I was chuckling because I said to Victor, that's really, really rude in Australia. And he says, what do you mean that's really rude in Australia? I said, that's peace in Australia. That's not peace in Australia. That is go get further backed. And he was like, really? And it's like, yes. Yes, it was. Anyway. 20 minutes of short. I tell you, if you did a week in review soapbox, you would have so many more views. I kind of did in a way. During COVID, I would whinge and moan about everything. And as I say, I got so many death threats from America. The biggest outrage I got from this cancel culture, God, I hate that word as well, was when Mum and I reviewed a Nicki Minaj song, and I read Mum the Nicki Minaj lyrics. I read the lyrics. I didn't make up the lyrics. I read the lyrics from the computer screen. I said, this is what she's singing. And I read them, and I had so many Americans contact me going, we're going to shoot you, we're going to murder you, you can't say this, you can't say that word's a black person's word, and this is a white, and you're a white person, and yada, yada, yada. And I was just writing back to them going, whatever. Yeah, whatever. It was crazy. Yeah. I said, what, Nicki Minaj can sing it, but I can't sing it? 'Cause I'm a white man? I'm a white hunky? And they go, yeah, you're a hunky, man. You can't say this, you're a hunky. So, man. You expletive. Oh, man, you know, they're only words. They're only words, he says. But, yeah, I mean, is it just me? Come on, we've got a lot of older people here on the channel. Is it just me, or does this whole American language, drama, shit you? Especially, as I say, Australia is now America. We've had TV shows cancelled because you can't do it, it upsets America. I mean, like, what is going on here? What is going on here? Every time your young friend texts you, you have to look up what about. Yeah, I got to as well. And okay, by the way, okay, you younger generation, okay, you younger generation, especially like Americans, okay is okay, not O-K-A-Y, it is okay, okay, O-K-A-Y, okay, it's okay, that's what it is, just saying, it's also maths, kids are baby goats. It's not 2 times, it's twice. And stop saying the word like. Like, seriously, like? Like, whatever, like. Palm up with the middle finger lifted as other hands make pushing to spin motion. Sit and spin on it. Or you could just say, read between the lines. Read between the lines. Tears. There you go, you got tears. So, you know. Yes, stop the Karen rubbish. Seriously, stop the Karen rubbish. And, you know the other thing that really bugs me about... You would have seen it on Facebook a lot. Like, Americans make fake videos... And Americans believe they're real. How many of you on Facebook have you seen, like, the fake airplane? You know it's a fake airplane for a start because A, it's too wide. B, all the windows are closed. And C, the seats are lounge seats. They're not plane seats. And there's always, like, you know... And they film a skit. Don't get me wrong. They film a skit and they got actors, you know. Must take time to film it. They act really, really badly. But they pretend there's some drama on a plane or whatever, you know what I mean? It's, whatever, we got to deal with this problem. And then you read the comments and people are like, oh my God, you know, like, what were they doing? And where was the security? And, oh, I'm so glad that you sorted it out. And it's like, it's fake. It's fake. Can't you see it's fake? It's like, it's drama fake. Show me Bella... or give me death. Okay thing is an autocorrect thing. Well, autocorrect is American because the computer's American, and America writes and speaks incorrectly. They don't speak correct English. They don't have a language. They do not. America is the only country in the world that does not have a registered, listed language. And they deliberately, we've covered this on the channel and we did a whole stream about it and we showed the evidence and we showed the proof. Why do Americans speak incorrectly? They did it because their president at the time, they used to speak correctly, they used to spell correctly. Their president at the time, I've forgotten which president it was, he was not happy with the government in England and the royal family, and so he wanted to insult them. He didn't want to drop bombs because at this stage England was more powerful than America. So he said, and he said this to the public, we are going to insult England by changing the language to be offensive to them, and he changed the school curriculum. And he also said the other reason why we are changing from correct English to this English is and he said this: Americans are not clever people, and we need to dumb it down. That's what he said. That was their president. Nothing is fake in the USA. Oh my God, really? Oh, you hate the fake YouTube videos? I know, right? Don't get me wrong. Like I've made videos that are acting and fake videos, of course. But I'd like to think people watch them and go, "This is a fake video." Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a spoof video, as an example. Spoof, comedy, spoof, good. But they do these videos as if it's real world. And then people believe it's real world, and it's not real world. And the only thing it does is it actually creates problems, because then you get these young dropkicks watch this, and then they go out and copy it. They do the same thing. Oh, when we get on a plane, we're going to do the same thing. Do you know what I mean? I slept in an overhead storage on an 8-hour bus ride for a gymnastics camp. Poppycock. Oh, poppycock's very good. Poppycock's a good English word. Poppycock. Yeah, that I am big in Japan was so fake. It was. I didn't know if anybody would get that joke, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I get stuff in my brain. That was in my brain for weeks, I've got to say. That was absolutely in my brain for weeks. I find it humorous. I get the joke. Did you all get the joke? I don't know if you do. I think some people, in fact, I got some messages that never appeared because, YouTube doesn't show the messages until I tick them all. Some people were just like, why are you standing in a urinal and looking at each other? Well, number one, we weren't in a urinal. It was all green screen. It was fake. But did anybody get the joke? I got the joke. I thought it was the funniest thing I have done for an awfully long time. And if you didn't get the humor in it, all I could say is it's nothing worse when you try and explain a joke. Yeah, when you try and explain a joke and it loses the funniness. But out of all the YouTube channels on the planet about Japan, my YouTube channel about Japan has the lowest number of people watching it, the lowest engagement, the lowest viewers, the lowest thumbs up. I hardly ever get thumbs up. I really don't get any messages on the videos, right? My channel is basically a absolute disaster when it comes to Japan and stats. I am non-existent, and the channel should be dead, and it should be closed down. I shouldn't be here because it achieves nothing, right? So I'm not big in Japan from the YouTube channel. So there is only one other way I can be big in Japan. See, so it was funny. It was funny. I thought it was funny. I got it, right? And the song, big in Japan. All right. If only Victor gave you a donut on Mount Fuji. Victor did give me a donut on Mount Fuji. He did. So, yeah. I just like that one video that got like a lot of views. I would like that. It's just never going to happen. I've resigned to the fact that the channel is never going to achieve anything of any sort, which I don't understand why, because, well, I do. It's obviously me. People just don't like me. And they don't want me on the videos. Saggy old-faced man. Look at that carrot on the video. But, we've done stuff on this channel that not many Japan YouTube channels have ever done. In fact, Chris Broad is now doing what we did a few months ago. I did the 14 cities, 14 days. He's actually copied that. He's now doing 14 cities in 14 days. But why would people not have watched 14 cities in 14 days about the Shinkansen? I don't get it. Why have people not watched some of the other stuff I've done? I forgot. I know there's a lot of rubbish on this channel, but surely somebody is typing on that has never been to this channel before and seen all the rubbish. Surely somebody is searching YouTube and going, what can I do in 14 days in Japan? And all of a sudden, my playlist of 14 cities in 14 days of Japan comes up. Surely. I don't know. Do a clickbait one, sure, to get 1.2 million views. But what is clickbait? I've tried the whole clickbait thing, but the clickbait thing just doesn't work for me. My clickbaitable stuff is not clickbaitable. I think Americans have more success on YouTube, especially when it comes to Japan channels. But when I watch American YouTube channels, I find them very arrogant. It's from and this could be why they're successful. It's from an American viewpoint, where it's like, I am the American, I am the greatness, I am, the arrogant one, and I'm in Japan, and everybody will look up to me because I'm American. I don't know, but American YouTube channels are the most successful ones, excluding Chris Broad. But Chris Broad was only successful because he was the first. Before him, there was nothing. If you look deep into the present and AI technology, you might realize how easy deep fakes are to make with quality, fluid, better, dramatic, cheaper. I did AI content on this channel not long ago, which none of you may know, but there was AI on this channel. So AI was used on this channel. It was. You think Chris Broad is maybe watching you? Might be. With a title of I Am Big in Japan. There you go. I actually used AI for some of my titles. Yeah. I used clickbait once, but the fish heard it coming. Exactly. So I don't know. I think it's because there's a lot of drama from my channel when I'm not in Japan, but when I'm in Japan, there's no drama. Yet when I watch other channels about Japan, there's drama, and that's the bit. Like, I see drama in Australia because there's a lot of drama in Australia, but in Japan, I don't see any drama. I find it a very, very easy, chilled place. And I thought that's what people want to see, that it's easy and chilled. But when you watch American YouTubers in Japan, it's all drama. It's like, COVID restrictions. Oh my God, there's this. Oh my God, there's this. Oh my God, what about this? Oh my God, what about this? And it's like, these are not real. 90% of the Japan stuff that's being pumped out by American YouTubers is not real. The information they give is just not real. Full stop, end of story. It's not real. If we were going to be successful in any way, shape or form, Russell, and this was before you came along, every Japanese YouTuber, and when I say that I mean all these American YouTubers and that, all of them were reporting Japan is closed. This was during COVID. Even non-American Japan YouTubers. There was Danish ones and English ones. They were all saying Japan is closed. You're not allowed into Japan. And I couldn't understand it because Japan was open. Japan was open to tourism. And there was zero tourists there. There was none. Nobody was going because they were believing all of these YouTubers. And it was getting me really, really angry. And I'm thinking, why are they telling everybody Japan's still closed? And then I realized they were telling everybody Japan is still closed because once Japan opened, people would stop watching them. They were going back to their channels to get the information. Can I go there this week? No, you can't. It's closed. But it was open. So we, Mad Hatter, myself, we were the very first tourists in Japan. The day Japan opened, we were in Japan. And I came on YouTube and I said, I'm going to prove Japan is open. We're going to go over there as tourists, and we're going to have a holiday in Japan and do all the things without masks and without this and this and this and without itineraries, because American YouTubers go, you need an itinerary and you need this and you need this. And it was all fake. It was bullshit. And I live streamed every single day in Japan with the caption, Japan is open for tourists. It is open, right? Come now. It's open. Nobody watched me at all. Yet we were the only ones that were saying Japan is open, here's the information, and we're here to prove it. We were proving it. We weren't doing green screen or sitting in a room going, oh, Japan is still closed. We were there, and nobody was watching. So, I don't know what else more I can do. Hello, Pauline. Yes, I am still here. You'll have to watch the beginning of the video, Pauline, to see me climb up Mount Fuji. So there is a video at the beginning of this, the final bit of Mount Fuji, so please do have a look at that. Victor has arrived safely. He obviously doesn't realise the time difference because he contacted me at about 2:30 in the morning. But that's all right. I was very, very happy to take his messages and get his photos and videos, and he's slowly ticking off his bucket list. He went to M&M. He found an M&M shop, a big M&M shop, and he's going, oh, wow, it just smells like M&Ms. And it's like, funny that it's an M&M shop. Anyway, he was in there and taking photos. He really wanted English fish and chips for some reason. That was like one of his, when I go to England, I must have fish and chips. So his very first meal was fish and chips, and he took a picture and he said, look how big the fish is. It's amazing. I said, did it taste good? He said, it was extraordinary. It was wonderful. Then he walked past Buckingham Palace. And, to be like, he doesn't know anything out of Korea. He knows nothing. He's done research on where he wants to go, but he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand the whole concept of outside of Korea. So he went to Buckingham Palace, and the guards were there. Those guard things, and he's going, why are they walking around? Why don't they sit down? What are they doing? They just keep walking. They're backwards and forwards, like, what are they doing? And he sent me a video, and he's going, this is very strange. So I had to kind of like explain that to him. Then he hopped on the driverless train, the Docklands light rail, and he sat at the very front. And, if you've been to Japan or Singapore or Kuala Lumpur or London or many places in the world, driverless trains are just like normal, yeah? So he messaged and he goes, oh my, like, it's a driverless train. And I'm going, yeah, no, it's good, isn't it? And he's going, but I get to sit at the front and see where I'm going. And it's like, yeah, it's good, isn't it? And he's going, this is fabulous. It's like I'm a train driver. So he's having a ball. He's loving it. He's having it. We will make a drama next Christmas for you. Excellent. Go to Ukraine. This is a bit that I mean, Roderick, when Americans and they carry on and all these younger generation with the Karens and you can't call me this, and I'm 130 genders. I'm a one-legged lesbian penguin. Like, all of these silly little kids that are carrying on about all this bullshit, go drop them in Ukraine or something. Drop them into a war zone, or drop them into a place where there's no food, or drop them into a place where they don't have their latest iPhone and the internet and, the Instagram, and see how they go then, because I'm pretty sure people in Ukraine or starving countries and stuff like this aren't carrying on about, Karen and I'm a one-legged lesbian penguin and all this sort of rubbish, right? It's the parents' fault for a start. They should be pulling their kids' heads in and going, "Oh, grow up." But it's like the younger generation are just, I don't know, bored, and so they create all this drama. Go live in a place where there is real drama, and you'll stop all this childish crap. I tell you, PewDiePie is such a calm YouTuber. PewDiePie's an idiot. PewDiePie, wasn't he the one that was an idiot in Japan? PewDiePie, no. Christmas in Afghanistan, exactly. And Japan streets were empty. I was there only a couple of weeks after Japan opened. David, yeah, and like all the other YouTubers, I argued with Ninja Monkey. You might know his channel. We had a huge argument because I got fed up of YouTubers telling lies and publicly, and his viewers then criticized me and said, oh, you don't know. And it's like, I do know. I'm in Japan. But even he was reporting Japan was still closed. And it's like, that's not true. It is well and truly open. So, there was a lot of fake information out there. And there still is. There's a lot of fake information out there about Japan or anything. Seeing that went live. Okay. Chips and custard. Oh, chips and mushy peas. Oh, my God. Yeah, so I'll keep you updated with Victor. The stuff he sends through, the videos and that, are not very good. It's like he sent a video and it was like, oh, look at this, and it's like, okay, but I will upload all of Victor's stuff to the members section for you all to see his pictures and videos and that. I identify as me, exactly. No, but I'm sure PewDiePie did something as well. I'm sure PewDiePie did something wrong. I'm trying to think what it was. Logan Paul's just an absolute dickwad. Why people support Logan Paul, God only knows. Chris Broad knows PewDiePie, but I wouldn't say they're friends. PewDiePie, I don't think it is. He lives in Japan now. Yes, he does. I don't think PewDiePie is the greatest examples of decency on the planet Earth. He could be. But no, I'm sure PewDiePie did something wrong. I can't think what it was. Can't think what it was. But like even Chris Broad was giving wrong information. Chris Broad gave wrong information recently. And when I say wrong information, again, it's the tourist clickbait thing. It's to get the tourist worried. It's to get the tourist freaking out. And Chris Broad did a whole thing about you can't get Suica cards in Japan. And Chris Broad knows for a fact you can. Because you can. And that was fake information. That's wrong information. And that was YouTubers taking part of a story and twisting it and telling a non-truth by not telling the actual real story. So again, I did a video, we did a live stream or a video or something where I showed you that you still can get Suica cards because you can. But nobody watched that either. So that's the thing. I think that the only way YouTubers, especially Japan YouTubers, are successful is to create drama about Japan, because a lot of these people are never going to get to Japan anyway. And they think, oh, we're going to go to Japan. And then they hear all these dramas and it's like, oh, we can't go to Japan until we try to figure out this drama. Do you know what I mean? Good night, Roderick. And give Puppy Dog a big cuddle for us as well, my friend. Good that you joined us. So, like the Suica card really got me going as well. And does it make me angry? Yes, it does. Because they're giving wrong information. That's the point. I've given wrong information before, but I've always come online and corrected myself if I've given the wrong information. You purchased 2 Suica cards just a month ago. Exactly. They're readily available. And somebody said, oh, yeah, but you can only get the tourist one. And, but I want the green one. And I said to them, well, why do you want the green one? And they said, because the tourist one only lasts for a month. And I said, okay. How long are you in Japan for? Oh, I'm in Japan for 2 weeks. So why is the tourist Suica no good for you? Like, I don't get it. And even with the tourist Suica, when it runs out after a month, you can renew it. You just got to go into a JR office and go, can you just activate my card again? It's as simple as that. Or you can just buy another one, whichever you want. So, yeah, Americans love drama. And that's it, David. That's it. And I think that's why, these American YouTubers in Japan are successful, because it is all about drama. It's literally about drama. The JR Rail Pass going up in price. There was another drama for you. And they were making it sound like Japan hated you, and they were putting it up in price, and they were bastards, and, how dare they, and they're picking on the tourists. All of you tell me, in your country or wherever you are, has anything not gone up in price in your country? Everything goes up in price. Of course the JR Pass is going to go up in price. It hasn't had a price increase for many, many years. Normally in your country, in my country, things go up every single year. The JR Pass has been the same all year round, like for many, many years. So of course they're going to have an increase. Is it a big increase? Well, kind of is. But again, if you're using it correctly, it's still a bargain. It's an absolute bargain. Why aren't creators saying to people, this is how you should be using a JR Pass? If you're just going to be in Osaka and Kyoto, don't get a JR Pass. because unfortunately tourists buy these JR passes just for Kyoto and Osaka or Tokyo, and of course they're not getting their value out of it. Of course they're not. But this is where the creators should say, look, you don't need this pass, you need to get this, and then that'll take you to Kyoto and that'll take you to Tokyo. But they should be saying, if you do this with your JR pass, it's well worth the money. It's still a hell of a lot cheaper than what Japanese pay for the Shinkansen, I tell you. And that's why I did the 14 cities in 14 days, to show you what good value the JR pass was, and doing the sleeper train, which no other Japanese bloody creator says either. I've never seen a Japanese creator go, with your JR pass, you can get free accommodation. I've never heard anybody say that. And again, as soon as you mention you get free accommodation with a JR pass, it's paid for the JR pass. You just get, like, I caught the sleeper train twice, 2 nights. That was 2 nights accommodation. What's the average accommodation? Roughly about $100. I know some is cheaper, some is dearer, but average it off. 2 nights accommodation I got on the train, $200. I saved $200 in accommodation. The pass was $300 and something. So therefore the pass, my 14-day pass, was only $100 and something. You tell me that's not good value. That's extraordinary value. You can also get it on your phone. Exactly, that's the thing. And they never said, they've just made a drama out of it. You can't get a Suica card anymore. They should have said, there is a problem with this Suica card, but here's the options. There's no drama. You can still get this, you can still do this, you can still do this. No, it was a big drama. Japan is coming to an end, it's collapsing. Oh, there's no Suicas, you'll never be able to get around. Just go to a freaking vending machine and buy a ticket if you want. I mean, not having a Suica card how is that a problem? Get a Plasmo card, get something, go to the vending machine. How is this a problem? How is this a drama? Heard on the radio this morning that Tokyo is now the most searched destination in Australia. Yes, penny is finally dropping. Yes, it is. I don't know why. I don't know why Japan's become so popular to the Australian tourists. I don't know. But luckily, again, they're all hanging around in Shinjuku and Shibuya and that, and let them stay there. Because those areas are not clean, those areas are not cheap, and those areas are not Japan. And let them stay there. Because, again, you've seen it, David, on the news here or whatever, where they go, Japan is full, it's packed. Even YouTubers, again, they go, Japan is packed, it's full of tourists. No. When we were in Sapporo, a couple of months ago, during the peak of tourism, how many people were in Sapporo? How many tourists were in Sapporo? 0. How many were in Aomori? 0. How many were in Sendai and Kagoshima and, all the other places we went? 0. So I don't know why Japan is full of tourists, because it's not full of tourists. It is just not real. You got a green, blue, yellow IC pass. I've got the green and the red. I've got the green and the red. I only have a Pasmo IC card. There you go. See? I want the Hello Kitty IC card. Do you know, every time I go to Japan, I kid you not, the Hello Kitty Shinkansen always follows me round. Wherever I go, that bloody train is there. I've never been on that train. I kind of want to go on the train. I've never been on it. And it kind of follows me. It says, hello, I'm here. One of my trips, which I've never done, I've always said that I wanted to do this in Japan, but it would require a lot of planning and a fair bit of money, which I don't have. One of the trips I did want to do was all of the theme trains in Japan. There are loads of them. Some have observatories in them, some have onsens in them, some have art galleries in them. There's so many themed trains. And I would love to do the whole country just of themed trains and literally just have 6 months of the YouTube channel of just themed trains in Japan. I would love to do it. I just can't afford it. So if anybody wants to drop me, if any of you want to drop me, say $2,000 right here, right now, AUD in a super chat, $2,000, I will do all the themed trains in Japan. The timer starts now. I know it's not going to happen. Plasma works the same as Suica. Of course it does, yes. Are you streaming on the Pocket 3? No. No, because I had to use the Pocket 3 today. That video you saw about Mount Fuji. Like, seriously, I was so lazy to do that last episode of Mount Fuji, that video. I literally did it 5 minutes before I came online live. So I used this camera. So this was already set up ready to go when I was actually filming in there. So that's how quick I edited it. I did it at the green screen. I went edit, done. That's how quick it was. So if it wasn't very good, it's because it took me 5 minutes to do. But I hope I fooled some of you. Who did I fool? Who did I fool? Any of you? Were any of you fooled from that video? I hope I fooled at least somebody. Give the usual places, it won't be crowded. Yeah, if you are set on going to Kyoto, do it during the week. It's chockers on the weekend. Exactly. Only 2K. Yeah, 2K will do it. 2K will do it. I'll pay for the plane fare. 2K will pay for the trains. That's it. You pay for the 2K. You can give 5K if you want. Look, if you're asking, yeah, 5K. Yeah, see, like, we didn't do Kyoto. Well, we did Kyoto during COVID because apparently the country was closed. Apparently. David was in the country. I was in the country. Mad Hatter was in the country, but apparently it was closed. And we did Kyoto then, which was great because there was 0 tourists. 0. None. It was fabulous. But now, why do I... And this is the point. Why do I want to go to Kyoto? Even on the weekdays, as you say, when it's not as crowded. Why do I want to go to Kyoto? Because what does Kyoto have to offer that every other city in Japan doesn't? So, for example, Kyoto has torii gates that go up a hill and, you know, yada, yada, fantastic. That's all over the country. You know, I can climb a mountain in Sapporo with torii gates going all the way up. I can go to the coast and go through the torii gates on cliffs and, you know, beautiful ocean scenery. You know, what does Kyoto have that is unique? Can anybody tell me? You might be able to tell me. What is something unique in Kyoto that I can't get somewhere else in Japan? And when you say, okay, well, what about the geishas and yada, yada, yada? Well, I went to an Edo town, the oldest Edo town in Japan, which was 20 minutes out of Saitama. So 20 minutes, Tokyo, Saitama, 20 minutes from Saitama. 0 tourists. 0 tourists. I went there during Golden Week, and it was the biggest Edo town in Japan, the oldest Edo town in Japan as well, and it had geishas there and the whole work. So what does Kyoto actually offer that's unique? Do you like what I'm doing with my hands? Do just one theme train, ride the Thomas the Tank train. I want to do the Thomas the Tank. I want to do the Pokemon train. I want to do the steam train in Hokkaido. I want to do the observatory train. I want to do the onsen train. There is a fish train I wouldn't mind doing. There's a few of them. You will get your name in the credits. Man, you won't just get your name in the credits. Your face will be in the logo. It will be like we will have a 5-minute suck job at the end of every single video and live stream going, this is the greatest man. This man made us go to Japan. This is God of the channel. In fact, I will get a cardboard cutout and I'll place it there of you, Russell. There. So every time I stream, you will be in the room. That's what will happen. 2-bit weeks for only AUD 4K. My mates couldn't believe that I did 2 and a bit weeks only for 4K. And David, you know, I've never done 4K for Japan ever. So if you're happy with 4K and they thought that was cheap, like, do you know what I'd be blown away if I did. I've never had 4K in my pocket ever. Never. I am a poor man. Even the last trip where we did 14 cities in 14 days, plus climb Mount Fuji, and, you know, I was there for, what was I there for, 3.5 weeks or something. That whole trip, including airfares, airfares, accommodation, 14 days around the country, JR Rail Pass, yada, yada, yada. I think in total that was like 2,500 at the very, very most. At the very, very most. I've done Japan before with 200, as everybody knows, with $200 in my pocket for a month. So, you know, there are ways around it. Again, if you go on the ferry, you don't pay for accommodation, but you get free accommodation. You get your capsule on there with your bed and the clean linen and the whole works. The sleeper train, you get free accommodation. You know, there's you can do Japan as cheap as you want. I honestly believe Japan is cheaper than Bali. I really do. Kyoto made donuts. Nah, see, they can't compete with Yokohama. Temples, geishas, everywhere. But that's everywhere in Japan. Yeah, that's everywhere in Japan, isn't it? Everywhere. Kyoto offers too many tourists. That's what they offer. Or Americans, exactly. You have me. So, yeah. Like the Sapporo trip that I'm doing next year, in a couple of weeks, in a few weeks from now, I'm going to be taking over there $500. That's it. That's my complete budget. I have no more. That's it. Have you tried the fruit sandwiches? Every time I'm in Japan, I have the fruit sandwiches, of course. I always have the fruit sandwiches in Japan. No. I think if you did Kyoto and all that sort of stuff, it would cost you $4,000. I think it would, but we've never done that. Can't do the capsule motels. Why? Do you know? I don't know if you're watching the stream the other day, David, but and again, maybe a lot of you that are watching may not know this, but just because it's called a capsule motel doesn't mean it's a capsule. The one I booked the other day for Sapporo is a room, is like a full stand-up room, is a room. It's like a room. It has a door on it, and I can walk in. I don't have to bend down, and my bed is there, and my little thing is there. And yeah, so a capsule motel is not always a little cylinder thing. The other one I had in Sapporo at Theatel, that was not a little thing. The one on the ferry is not a little thing. The one on the ferry is a room. So yeah. When you think of capsule motels in Japan, there are different versions of capsule motels. Okay, so don't ever think that it's just a claustrophobic little capsule. It's not the case. I could not do long periods of time in a claustrophobic capsule. And the flights were more expensive last year, around $1,500. Yeah, the flights have got really expensive at the moment, so yeah, I get you. You did Tokyo, Hiroshima, Kyoto, Osaka accommodation airfares in April this year was just over $3,000. Yeah, I mean but David, next Christmas. So this is not this Christmas, not 2023 Christmas, 2024 Christmas. We, and when I say we, Russell, Mad Hatter, potentially Victor, potentially some other people, we are all going to have Christmas in Sapporo. So if you're looking for a cheap, you got to pay for your own airfare, you got to pay for your own accommodation, but that's really all you got to pay for, a little bit of food. If you want a really cheap, really good trip in Hokkaido for Christmas with tour guides, then consider joining us. Thanks, Sam. You have a good night, my friend. Sam is not far away from going to Japan. There's nothing wrong with nothing wrong. Well, the capsule we stayed at the EG, you also get free food and drinks, unlimited free food and drinks you get at the EG as well. So yeah, APA hotels are the lowest I go. They're at least consistent. You know what you're getting. I've stayed at APA hotels in Tokyo and Sapporo. So my favorite hotel in Sapporo. We were talking the other night when I was booking the hotels the other night. We did a live stream. Oh yeah, we did it for members. You remember? I couldn't afford the APA hotel. It was too expensive. Japan will never fall under a certain standard, except if you go in the tourist area of Osaka, which I discovered. Bad move. But everywhere else in Japan, they never fall below a certain standard. And again, don't think a capsule motel is just a little coffin, because some of them offer a room. It just depends what capsule. They do themselves a dishonor by saying capsule motel, but when you look at their motel or hotels, they have different offerings in the capsule motel. It's not just the coffins. You can get the coffins, or you can get a half capsule, or you can get a full room. 55 weeks away, yes. On the first. You know what I'm going to do while you're just having a little chat? I like Happy Christmas, War is Over. So this is Christmas, and what have you done? Another year over. Japan has begun. There we go. I really, you know what I really need? I'll tell you what I really need. I need a Panadol. I have one hell of a headache going on, and I need a drink. So I'm going to grab one. We're going to keep coming back because I'm enjoying having a chat with you. But while I do that, I have no videos prepared, so I'll put on the Mount Fuji thing again. It'll just be for a couple of minutes, and I will get my Panadol, and I will get my drink, and I will be back. I must do this because my head is about to explode. I'll be back in a minute. I can't do rocks.
Only here.
Are they steps there? Are they steps around there? I can't do it. Was that the path down?
Yeah.
That was the path down?
Yeah.
Was it? The down way is that way?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm going to do that, Shoto.
Okay.
I can't do it.
Okay, good luck.
Okay. Good luck, my friend.
Yeah.
Message me. Take some photos. So annoying. I'm so close to the top, and it's stupid if I go back now. But I don't really want to do it. Shoto, wait. Hang on. I'm coming with you, but we've got to take it slow, alright? It's been 2 days and I nearly turned around and went back down, but I am so glad that I finally did decide to come up here to the top of Mount Fuji.
Would you like a donut?
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, did I fool you? I didn't make it to the top of Mount Fuji, but I think I could have, and a little bit later in the video, I'm going to explain to you how I think I could have got to the top of Mount Fuji, and if you're going to do Mount Fuji, what is the best way to do it. Now, before then, I didn't get to the top, but I did get to the 8th station, which was actually kind of fairly near the top. You can see on the screen now. However, Shoto did get to the top, and when he got to the top, I asked him if he could take a couple of photos and videos for us all to see what it looked like. So here's a selection of shots from the top of Mount Fuji taken by the wonderful Shoto. that was Shoto. In the end, I rushed as quick as I could. I'm even jingling my bag here. Haven't taken my bag out. I've got my milk over here. Thank you very much. And that's what's going to happen. I thought the owner APA is a female. Her portrait is on the ads in the subway train tunnel. Shoto is a legend. Oh, and Shoto's never been to Sapporo. Ever. So I'm going to try get, next Christmas, I'm going to try get Shoto to come up to Sapporo. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to arrange that one pretty easy somehow. Victor is, of course, going to be in Korea, which is very close to Japan. So I'm going to try get Shoto to, Victor, to come and join us in Sapporo as well, which would be very good. And I'm trying to convince, I don't know if I can, you've never met him before, but one of my very first housemates 10 years ago, if not more, 15 years ago, I don't know, a long time ago, was Kleberson. Pauline knows Kleb, if Pauline is still here. And he's from Brazil. And I keep saying to him, you must come to Japan. He's going, I do not want to come to Japan. I'm trying to talk it. I've already started working on him to try get him to come to Japan for Sapporo as well. So, yeah. That's the wife. Her face is on the bottles of the water they give out. I've never noticed that. I've never noticed. But look, there's David. There is... I mean, if you can afford APA and you want to stay at APA, then stay at APA. Sure. I'll never knock anybody for staying in APA. I do it myself. But don't, if you're going, look, I can't get to Japan because I can't afford APA at the moment type thing, there are alternatives. And capsule motels are not that bad if you pick the right capsule motel. Theatel was great. I tried to book Theatel for the Sapporo Snow Festival, but it was completely booked out, unfortunately. But the room we got is pretty much a room. He says pretty much a room. To be fair, the only problem with the capsule motel. Let me get rid of me tea bags. Hang on. The only problem with the capsule motel is you have to bugger off during the day, right? They go, you can still stay in the property. They have like little lounge rooms and all that sort of stuff. But you've got to leave your capsule between 10 and 3, I think it is, 10 and 3 or 10 and 4 or something while they clean it up. Is APA like a Motel 6? APA is like I don't want to call it a budget hotel because it's not... Well, it is a budget. It's what we would call a budget hotel. In Japan, I don't think it's called a budget hotel. I think it's a chain hotel. It's pretty good. And the thing with APA is wherever you go around the country, it's their brand. So you know that you're going to get the same room and the same service and the same, everything at APA. There is a problem, though, with Japan and accommodation. Do you know what that is? It's the check-in times. Japan really needs to fix that. That is Japan's biggest fault. The check-in times. It is... They have to learn for international tourists that most international tourists arrive in the morning. By the time we get our bags and head out to the hotels, it's around lunchtime. We're tired. We're buggered. We've had enough because it's a long way to fly. And we don't want to sleep in the hotel, of course, but we want to get rid of our bags. And I don't mean at the reception area. I know a lot of hotels will say, you can leave your bags here. I want my bags in the room. I just want to get up into my room. I want to just, put my bags down and get the complimentary water and sit down for like 5 minutes and then go out. But Japan always uses the same excuse of, oh, your room isn't ready and we're cleaning it. No, that's not true. The room is ready. You're not cleaning it. You just will not let me in the room until spot on the time. Spot on the time. And Japan needs to change that. That is Japan's biggest problems. I've gone to check in 5 minutes before check-in time at APA, and they've said to me, you got to wait 5 minutes. And that's ridiculous. And they've used the excuse of, we're cleaning your room. It's like, if you're cleaning my room 5 minutes before I'm due to check into that room, then you need to be giving me another room. Because, you know what I mean? It is something Japan does. It is a huge fault. It is a big mistake. Nowhere else in the world does it. And it needs to change big time. It's the worst thing. Can I join the 2024 Christmas party over a video call? I'm sure we will arrange something, Sammy, for people that can't attend. And, you know, Sammy has, certain conditions where he has to travel because of his health reason and his wheelchair and yada, yada, yada. So I'm sure we will arrange something, even for the members, Sammy. There'll be something that we'll do. We'll do a live stream or something, or I don't know. We've got a long way to go, but I want to turn it into like an event. I want challenges. I want fun. I want games. I want food. I want party. I want I want, I don't know, snowmen making competitions. I don't know. We got to make an event out of this, and then we want people to see the event, of course. So yeah, we'll do something. I don't think they'll change the time either, Duxu, but they need to. I know Theatel were not even going to look after my bags. They said, no. Check-in time's 4 o'clock. You come back with your bags then. And I was very polite to the girl. She spoke good English. And I said, okay. I said, this is the way it is going to be. You are going to be looking after my bags. And this is why you're going to be looking after my bags. And you're going to ensure that every other tourist that comes here off an international flight, that you're going to look after their bags as well. Because it is illogical that you would tell somebody that they have to carry their bags around until 4 o'clock. And she said to me, go to the train station, put it in a locker. I said, I'm not walking back to the train station. I'm not paying for a locker. I've paid for a hotel. I know I can't get into my room. I know you're going to use the excuse of it's being cleaned. I totally get that. But you can't tell me in this whole building that there is nowhere that I can leave my bag. And I only had like a carry-on bag. I said, it's not taking up any room. It's not costing you anything at all. It's Japan, so nobody's going to be stealing it. Right? But it is totally unacceptable for you not to accept my bag. So she did. We had a long talk about it. She was like, no. And I broke her down and I said, yes, you will. Yes, you will. And this is why. And yeah. Shoto versus Victor snowball fight. That, Sammy, you got to remind me of that in a year from now, because that is a pretty good challenge. I don't know who would win that one. Shoto is very healthy, goes to the gym, and is very strong. Lots of muscle going on there. Victor was in the Korean army, the Korean military. Good with a machine gun. You know what I'm saying? Who would win? I think Shoto would win that one. I really think Shoto would win that one. Yeah, that's an interesting challenge. I would like to have a cooking challenge, maybe. A cooking race. Where I don't know. We give the competitors a bunch of different ingredients, and we say, and they've got to be like unusual ingredients, and we're going to say, right, you've got to make a dessert in 5 minutes with these ingredients. I don't know, or something, and go on your marks, get set, make. I don't know. We've got a year to figure it out. First thing we've got to do is figure out if anybody is going to go. What's going to happen in February next year? When I'm in Sapporo, I'm going to film a couple of things about it, right? Information things about it. And then from February, I'll have a private page. I don't know if it'll be on Facebook or whatever. We'll do it something that it's only a private page for people that are going to go or want to go. But we want all of you to go, but not only just all of you. People don't need to watch this channel, okay? That's not what this thing is about. This thing is about just people, getting a group of people together, whether it be your friends, your family, or whatever. We just want you to say to people, come and have Christmas in Sapporo. When we're there, you can hang around with us all if you want, or you don't have to. You can do your own thing. Hopefully we'll have some meals together though, you know, because we're all going as a group. Because a lot of us have been to Sapporo before. If you've never been there before, you've got some tour guides if you want some tour guides. You know, it's not going to be like follow us around 24 hours a day. You can do your own thing, but we're there to help. What we're just trying to do is a white Christmas if you've never had one. But, you know, a lot of us are single or don't have families or whatever. And Christmas now has really lost a lot of its spirit as far as I'm concerned. And I just think it'd be really, really good to get a group of people together in a snowy climate, because Christmas, snow, Santa Claus, all that sort of stuff, and we can just sit down in a really nice hot restaurant with dim lights and have a beautiful meal and some drinks and a laugh and a cheer and go outside and throw snow or whatever. I just think it'd be really, really good fun. And again, because it's Christmas and because it's Sapporo, it won't be bombarded with tourists, so it's going to be cheap. The accommodation will be cheap. And you'll pay for it yourself. I'm not going to be doing any packages. You're not giving me any money whatsoever. You'll find the cheap airfare for yourself. You'll find accommodation for yourself, whatever it be. Some will be in capsule motels, some will be in real hotels. But we will plan activities together. We'll say, okay, well, let's go to the Sapporo Beer Factory for a meal together, or let's go up Mount Moria for a meal, or you know what I mean. We will organise group stuff, and if you want to join the group, fine. If you want to do your own thing, fine. I just think it'd be good. So put your feelers out. Ask your friends, ask your neighbours, ask your ex-partners, ask your bail officers. I don't know. Ask anybody, and just see if we can get some people coming together. That'd be great. The place you stayed in Osaka checked you in at 12:30. Wow. Actually, I got checked in at one place earlier as well. Might have been Osaka. No, actually, I know where it was. It was APA in Sapporo. It was really, really snowy. It was like blizzard snow. And when I got there, the girl was really nice. And I said to her when I got there, I said, can I just leave my bags here? No, I can't check in till 4, yada, yada, yada. And she said, you know, the weather's really, really bad out there. So if you want to check in now, you can check in now. And I said, oh, thank you. Find Mark in Sapporo. You hide, give us clues. We find you. Okay, I'm... clue number one. Clue number one. Let's see if you can find me now. Ready? Here, clue number one. I am looking over a street with lights while eating a burger. Where am I? Where am I? Do you know? Good night, Sammy. So yeah, I'll film something in Sapporo in February. We'll put it on the channel in February. We'll open a private page. That way, if people are going to go, they're on the private page. We know who's going. As you all get your flight tickets or whatever, we can figure out dates. And you don't all have to fly in on the same day. You might fly in on this day or this day. You may not stay the length of time we're staying. You know, we just want to get a group together. Hit a restaurant. Go for a drink. I don't know. Sing karaoke. Climb a mountain. I don't know. McDonald's, yes, Macca's, opposite the Nico guy. Yes, exactly, McDonald's. It is, of course, McDonald's. Yes. Okay, let's make this a little bit more tricky. What can I say? I am heading towards some... Oh, you'd have to watch the channel for this. Oh, here we go. I'm heading towards something that was near the past forever. Where am I? If you're watching the channel, you would know this. I am heading towards a place. What is a place near the past forever? Where is it? We're going to see who watches my channel now, because you would have had to watch my channel to know what past forever is. What is it? Why am I using my hands again? Mount Fuji. No, not Mount Fuji. It's in Hokkaido. It's in Sapporo. Okay, because that's what we're doing. It's Find Mark in Sapporo. I am somewhere in Sapporo. The tower thing, that pulled down. Oh, you're so close. That's the past forever. Yes, very good. Very good. Russell's seen it. That's the past forever. What is near? What is near the past forever? That's where we've all got to go. Not the tower, but what I'm alluding to. What is near the past forever? Which is not called the past forever. It was called the tower something or other. I've forgotten what it's called. But the song on the video was past forever. What is near there? Because I remember I said I'm going to the attraction near. What is there? And if you've been to Sapporo and you have never been to this place, next time you go to Sapporo, you've got to promise that the tower is gone. Yes, the tower is gone, but there is an attraction next to the tower, right next door to the tower. That is where everybody must go, because I was absolutely blown away. It was insane, absolutely insane. And whoever goes to Sapporo, you got to promise me that you go to this place. Does anybody know? I watched it, can't remember it. Good to see my videos memorable. It was... Does anyone want to guess? It was the historical village of Hokkaido. Joe's Bar. The village, exactly. Do you like my desk how it goes down? You can see my unmade bed now. The bell is on. Yes. The historical village of Hokkaido. I actually do have a video of it that you've never seen. I know I did some live streams and bits and pieces there, and you saw a little bit of it. But that is just spectacular. I never saw it all in a whole day of being there. You know, just crazy. A whole day, and I never saw it all. And I try to rush through everything, which was really bad, because when you rush through everything, you really don't... I enjoyed it, but you really don't get to see it, if you know what I mean. And that was another perfect example of why you shouldn't go to tourist areas in Japan, because to go into this... And if you haven't seen it, like, you don't need to watch my video, just like Google it now, the historical village of Hokkaido. To go in there was like, I think $2.50 or $3 Australian to go in there for the full day. It was ridiculously cheap. Zero tourists. Zero tourists. And it was better than any museum you could go to about Japan, because it was the history of... Well, it's the history of Hokkaido. And I know Mad Hatter knows this, and Duxu, and maybe Russell, because I've said this on the channel before. But what it is, the Japanese government are just, they're ever so clever. Out of all of Hokkaido, and Hokkaido's the youngest place in Japan where people have lived. And the government said from day one, we're going to keep our history of Hokkaido, and we're going to move it to one location. So if, as time goes on and we modernize infrastructure or whatever, we're going to keep examples of our history. And so this village is not replicas. They're the real buildings that have been moved in to the historical town of Hokkaido. So you have the complete history of Hokkaido in this village/city from hundreds of years ago to now. So you walk into... little huts where they used to live, and it's got all the furniture in there. Again, not replica furniture. They bought the hut with all the furniture, and then you go through the history, and the buildings get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until you get friggin' skyscrapers. There was a skyscraper in there of 6 stories or whatever it was. Cement skyscraper. They moved a cement skyscraper there. And again, with everything in it. It was an office building. I've forgotten what sort of office building it was. But they didn't just buy the building. They bought everything in the building. And they moved it all. They just said, boing. So you go through this city, and it's just extraordinary. That you're going literally through history. You go into an old sake factory. You go into an old police station. You go... It's just it's like freaking amazing. It's terrific. During the summer, they have a horse-drawn tram that takes you around. Winter, of course, the tram doesn't operate, so you just got to walk through the paths in the snow. But can you go into the skyscraper? Yes, you can. When I say skyscraper, as I say, I think it's only 4 stories or 6 stories high or something. But yeah, you get to go in all the buildings. And it literally is from hundreds of years ago, these piddly little huts, right up until... And you go along and the buildings get bigger and bigger and bigger and wider and wider and wider. And right up, these ones were built with, I don't know, straw, right up to, these big, thick cement structures. It's extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. A fantastic day out, absolutely fantastic day out. Now in the summer, if you go there in the summer, they've also got actors walking around the village. So they've got the tram operating with the horse, but they've also got period clothed people. So if you go to something from 100 years ago, they're wearing the underwear on their head and all that sort of thing. And if you go to something more modern, they're wearing like the business suit. So they got actors. In the winter, you don't really get that. And the whole thing was designed... so it's over, 5 kilometers? Oh, I would say it's over a few kilometers. I don't know how many. But the point is, there's a hell of a lot of buildings in there. There's a lot of buildings in there. It's not just like 1 or 2. It's literally the history of Hokkaido. So there would be... I'm guessing here, when I would say there would be 40, 50 buildings there at a guess, maybe more, I don't know. But what they did, and it's a wonderful, wonderful thing, it was designed for the school children. And they didn't want the school children just to read off a book, because children don't really engage reading off a book. They wanted to take them there and say, this is where you live. This is, your prefecture. And this is the actual history. This is what your great auntie and uncle did. This is how they work. This is where they live. This is what they did. Because it's not just houses there. It's houses. It's farms. There's a farm. There's a couple of farms out there. There's a couple of silos out there. And they literally show physically the history, the living conditions, and the children, learn a lot more. And they also, and this is where Japan children respect their country a lot more, because they do get to physically see, oh my God, it was hard back then. And look how easy we've got it now. It's fantastic. It's one of the best things I've ever done in Japan. Why Sydney banned skyscrapers? Sydney hasn't banned skyscrapers, have they? Didn't know about that. Have they banned skyscrapers? Don't know. Maybe there's no more land. There's a lot of tunnels under Sydney. And as I say, it was like $3 or $4 to go in. They have a restaurant in there. The restaurant's really, really cheap. And it was just, it was great. 0 tourists. I put the drone up in the air, so there was I took some drone shots of the whole thing. But it would take you a couple of days to see it all if you wanted to. We can go there for a day and we would still enjoy it and thoroughly see a lot in a day. You would see enough in a day, but if you really wanted to go deep into the history of it all, you'd spend a couple of days there. Every single building has a plaque out the front of it as well with the history of it. It's like, this is what this was, this is who operated it or lived in it, and this is where in Hokkaido the building was. So they actually show you where the building was and where they moved it from. There's a hairdresser out there and it had robots in it, and everything has like sounds coming from it, so it's like real when you go inside. So, the guy... It was an old barber shop, and the guy's leaning back while the other guy's shaving him with the razor. And it's fascinating. And as I say, you read the sign outside the shop, and it says, this barber shop was in this part of Hokkaido, and it was owned by such and such a family from this year to this year, and then we moved it here, and it's terrific, absolutely terrific. The historical village of Hokkaido. I'm sure there is a video, but not. I have 4K footage I've never released of it, but I think there is a general video. Let me look. Central Memorial Tower Facebook flashback. No, I haven't released a video of it. Maybe it's in a live stream. No, haven't released it. Why haven't I? That's a bit odd. Let me look. Actually, you know what I'll do? I know what I'll do. Wait there. Do they have? Oh yeah, we can flick through some of these. Let me do some magic on the screen. All right, let's enlarge this. You don't need to see my face at the moment. Okay, so you've got buildings, for example, like this in the era. Excellent. Got big buildings like this. You've got this is the entrance, which is like the old train station. Nice. You've got these little, that's what I mean. See how far it goes back in time? Oh, error. Dang. Yeah, so you've got these little village hut things going on there. You've got what's this one? Is this the sake one? I think this is the old sake factory. Potentially, or the wool sheds. What is all these errors? Oh my god! Is this a website? The historical village of Hokkaido. Here we go. So, what you see in that picture there is only part of it. That's like the main street. That's the main village. But the farmland and the huts and that are further around, are another part of the village. Oh, here we go. Here's a map. Area map PDF. So that's the area there. It's a very, 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 very big area. Access by bus, so you get the bus from near McDonald's. In fact, you get the bus from there. User guides, events. Yeah, anyway. I don't know if I sold that to you, but there we go. That's the best I can do at the moment. I will eventually edit the video. Eventually. Eventually I will, but you can see it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. I'm sure I did a. What did I do, Mad Hatter? Was it a live stream or? I must have done something. My headache's annoying me. My headache is caused from my sinus. It's been very windy and stormy here in Melbourne, and the pollen. It's just. Is it on my other channel, Mad Hatter? Did I never put it on this channel? Might be on my other channel that I don't use anymore. I'll find the video anyway. I'll find the videos and I'll upload them on this channel. But again, you know, like there's no tourists there. It's only costing you $3 or $4 to get in or whatever it was. It wasn't much. And just interesting and cruisy day, and you know, once you've done that, you can go to the restaurant, have something to eat, then go back to Sapporo for the night and, see the more snow and lights and go up to Mount Moira. There's lots of things to do. Lots of things to do. So, yeah, he says. We'll put a list together of stuff anyway, of things to do. I will find those videos, though, and I will upload them. If I don't edit them, because... See, I had my Sony ZV-1 camera when I was in Hokkaido when I went out there, and it's a bitch of a camera because you have to digital stabilize every single clip you take, and it just takes hours, and it takes up all the computer hard drive, and it's a real pain in the ass, and most of the clips you can't stabilize, so they're no good, and you've got to throw them in the bin. It was the worst camera I ever bought. And all of the historical village of Hokkaido was filmed with that particular camera, so I'll see what I can. Yes, you screened it. I must have screened it on the other channel. I'll try find it. I will upload it again, and we'll do another screening on here. But whatever I've screened before was not the 4K footage. There was better footage that I've just never done anything with, because it's just a pain. Let me see if I can find the 4K footage even as we speak. I might be able to just show you some random clips. My computer is... I so need to buy a new computer. It is really, really dead, my computer. Look at that. The very first file I open is the historical village of Hokkaido. Interesting. I don't know if there's any decent clips here. No, I'll go through these clips. I'll try come up with something. He says. Anyway, I've pretty much run out of anything to say, so if you guys want to say anything, feel free. Ask any questions or conversation you like. Final drinks, if nobody comes up with anything. I'll go on my merry ways. If you do come up with something, I won't. I have nothing else to do. I'm now in Mark's lockdown mode. I always go into Mark's lockdown mode before I go to Japan. I know it's many weeks before I go to Japan, and I lock down because if I go out, I'll spend money, and I got no money. That's the point. So this is going to be the tightest trip I've ever done to Japan, he says. I haven't even got the money for the accommodation yet that we booked the other night. I have nothing, so literally it is going to require me sitting here and doing nothing for weeks on end now, and being like so frugal with what I do, like absolutely so frugal with what I do, what I eat, what I do, everything. So my life now is just sitting here being very bored, he says. I don't even want to go into the city and look at the Christmas projections, because that means I would go to McDonald's and buy a drink or something. I literally want to sit here and just save up every cent I can for Japan. I don't know what I'm going to do with this housemate. I'm not extremely happy, but you never know. It might turn out to be okay. We'll see how it goes, but I'm just getting some pretty bad vibes from some things that he's saying, and I think at this stage it's not appropriate that A, I leave him alone in the house, or B, have him look after Bella, but we'll see what happens. That is one huge cup. Pauline gave me this cup. Pauline gave me this cup. She gave me 2 of these cups. This will be your 5th time quitting soda. I quit soda. I still drink a soda now and again, but I used to drink a lot of soda. I used to drink like 1.5 litres a day of soda. You can do it, Daksu. You can quit the soda. There's plenty, luckily now, there's plenty of alternatives to soda out there that still gives you the same fizziness, the same kick that soda gives you. So I think you will be okay in your endeavours. I really need to quit coffee. I really need to quit sugar. I really need to do these things. I've tried, but that's like a lot harder. But yeah, fizzy drinks, you got a lot of options, especially in Japan. So you should be okay. You quit your headache each day for a week. Yeah, I did that when I tried to quit coffee before. Water only. Yeah, see, I don't think water only is a good thing. You know what is good when you're trying to quit fizzy drinks, sodas, as you call it. You still need that fizz, right? It's that fizz that gets you addicted, which water doesn't have. So when you have water, it's bland and boring and all that sort of stuff. So what I did, these are not mine. Victor left these here, but this is what you need to get. This works. You get effervescent tablets, whether it be hydrating ones or vitamin ones or anything like this. You'll be able to get them in the drugstore in Japan, the chemist in Japan. You'll be able to get them in not Big Camera. You'll be able to get them at Don Quixote, and they're the ones that you get the little tablet, these things, and you drop it in the water, and they fizz up. And that gives you the fizziness. But these are good for you because they've either got vitamins in them or hydrating stuff in them. But you get that fizziness. So it is literally like drinking a soda, but without all the bad stuff. So give that a go. The effervescent tablets. Soda Stream. Yeah, you could get a Soda Stream. It's not the fizz. It's a sugar I am craving. Well, again, like if you replace it with like a vitamin one, you think you're having the sugar from the fruit. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, the sugar is a real pain. Another thing, Victor left these the other day. I'll show you these as well. I haven't had these for years, like years. I had one yesterday, and it was like, oh my God, this A brings back my childhood. But B, most importantly, it was sweeter than a candy, than the sugar. You know what I mean? And it was like, wow, if I ate these, I would stop eating candies. And that is the chewable or suckable vitamin C tablets. The vitamin C tablets. They're vitamin C, so they're good for you. They're sugarless. I know this is an Australian brand, but you'll be able to get a Japanese brand. Sugarless vitamin C. They have the sweetness where you think you are having all the sugar that you need because of the orange goodness in them, but they are just so good. Oh my God, I remember having these when I was little, and they're so good. And you know, it says only have one a day, but they're only vitamin C. So if you got to have if you get a craving and you got to have like 3 or 4 a day, they're not really going to hurt you. You know what I mean? Because they're only vitamin C. But give them a go. And literally now, like I've just put one in my mouth, and it's like my mouth, even though they're sugar free, it's like my mouth, my tongue, my body thinks it's getting that sugar hit because of the orange goodness in there. So try. Oh my God. Yeah, try give them a go. They're so good. Just eat donuts. I nearly bought donuts today and I was going to take a photo, but I never did. They were $2.75 for 8 glazed donuts at Coles. By the way, in case you never guessed with the Mount Fuji thing, I added a couple of jokes in there. One of them, the 2 jokes that has been thrown at this channel, or 1 joke, 2 jokes. The 1 joke that was thrown at this channel was, we only do stuff on green screen. So, of course, that's why it had to have green screen in it. And the second joke, of course, was the Yokohama donut. So I do hope you, again, my warped sense of humor, I do hope you understand there were 2 jokes in that climbing Mount Fuji thing. Not just 1, there was 2 jokes. Yeah. Definitely not as good as Akihabara Donuts, no. That was the last thing Victor did, by the way. Here he is getting ready to catch a plane. It was like, oh, Victor, I've been wanting to do this for like weeks, and literally I have been so lazy. And I kept saying to him, I need to do something, Yeah. He always helped us out. But just literally before we caught the plane, I said, oh my God, I've just got to film this. Can you do this? Actually, there's an outtake. I will upload the outtakes to the members section, because I said to him, I'm going to say, here I am at the top of Mount Fuji, and the second I say Mount Fuji, pull down the screen. That's what I said to him. So I'll be like, yada, 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 here I am at the top of Mount Fuji, and he wouldn't pull down the screen, and it was like, Arr! And then like a few seconds later, he would be like, oh yeah, pull down the screen. So yeah, blooper reel, I'll upload that to members. He says. Oh, that's what you need, Duxu, vitamin C. Oh yeah, it's hitting me. I was just seeing if Victor has messaged me today. No, not that I can see. Anyone else want to say anything? Look, if you want to keep chatting, I'm happy to chat. I don't have to go. It's just I've run out of things to say. So if you don't have anything to say, I'll go. If you do have something to say, feel free. I have nothing to do apart from... Did I show you? When we were going to church, Victor's church, because again, I'm not religious, but you know, he was such a good housemate, you want to support him. So when he was in the band, I would go to the church. For his Christmas party, he said to me, it's the last time I'm going to church. Would you like to come to church with me? I said, yes, of course. And I dressed up in the Christmas fair. And we were going to film a video, but the weather was too bad. What was the video going to be for? It was going to be a music video of something. I've forgotten. Anyway, when you're recording on the video, sometimes things are too small and they need to be a lot bigger. So I wanted to hand him a Christmas decoration, at which point I wanted him to throw it, right? So in other words, I was going to be the happy Christmas spirit person because I was all dressed up really Christmassy, so excited Christmas is coming. And Victor's sort of like, yeah, Christmas, whatever. And I was going to hand him a Christmas decoration and he was going to throw it. Nevertheless, we were going to wear the Christmas decorations. I was going to wear the Christmas decorations when we went to church. So I put together a special Christmas decoration, bigger, so you could see it on camera. Okay, that was the idea of it. Never realizing what it looked like. After I made it, I was wearing it, at which point Victor said to me, you can't wear that at church. And I said, why can't I wear that at church? And he said, have a look at it. That was the Christmas decoration. Oh my God. That's what she said. Exactly. Is that your piggy on the bed? These are Bella's toys. Bella has so many toys on the bed. Oh my God, she's got... This was her last Christmas, 2021. That was her teddy from 2021. This was, when I first got her, this was the first teddy she got, and she loved this. This is her favourite. This is one I got when I was overseas for her, and she loves this. When she sleeps, she puts her head on this one. This one came from her nana, so in other words, Bob, my mum. That was one of her early toys. That's like her safety blanket, this one, even though it's ripped to pieces. And this one I got in Japan for her, and she's already ripped off the nose and the eye. And I'm sure there's another 10 toys on the bed as well, even as we speak. I am going good, and I know you've all seen this, but as Dylan is here, I'm only going to play the beginning, because the beginning only goes for a minute, as you know. The beginning only goes for a minute, only because Dylan's here. I'll get Bella. She's here on the bed. Dylan, I played tonight the last bit of Mount Fuji. I'm only going to play the beginning, people, so don't run away, okay? I just think Dylan needs to watch this because Dylan thinks that I failed at Mount Fuji, so we'll just play the beginning. Dylan, you'll be impressed with me, man. I can't do rocks.
Only here.
Are they steps there? Are they steps around there? I can't do it. Was that the path down?
Yeah.
That was the path down?
Yeah.
Was it? The down way is that way?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm going to do that, Shoto.
Okay.
I can't do it.
Okay, good luck.
Okay. Good luck, my friend.
Yeah.
Message me. Take some photos. So annoying. I'm so close to the top, but it's stupid if I go back now. But I don't really want to do it. Shoto, wait. Hang on. I'm coming with you, but we've got to take it slow, alright? It's been 2 days and I nearly turned around and went back down, but I am so glad that I finally did decide to come up here to the top of Mount Fuji.
Would you like a tuna?
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah.
Thanks. There you go, Dylan. Here's Bella. Here's my girl. How you going? She bit my nose. How you going? You good? What you doing? What you doing? Hmm? What you doing? What you doing? You're my pretty girl. Who's my pretty girl? What? Gonna bite my nose again? Or what? You know you're on camera, don't you? You know you're on camera. My pretty girl. You wanna go back on the bed? Say, you woke me up, daddy. Go on, you go back on the bed. There we go, that was Bella. It's pretty hot in here. I wonder if the heater's on. I knew the green screen was coming. Oh, did you? As long as I fooled you all for like a second. I don't know, at least a second. As long as I did that, that's all that matters. But yeah. How you going, Dylan? Anyway, what's been happening in your world? We've had a very long stream tonight. Oh my god, you are into the... out of all the people on this channel, you were the one I never thought that would go along with that joke. I am just impressed. You've gone up a level, my man. You have gone up a level. I've you know, Dylan is on a couple of channels. He's friends with me and he's friends with them, and that's perfectly fine. Of course it is. And you know, I try not to stir the pot with Dylan because, you know, you don't want to tear people type of thing. I never thought you were into the joke, Dylan, but very good, thank you. I did think that you were going to pull a fast one and had made it. Yeah, I think most people figured I was going to do it. You had me, but the timing was off. The timing was, I tell you why the timing was off, and the timing was off, and I noticed that as well, because I had set the stream to come on live, and that was thrown together in like 2 minutes. Like literally, same shirt, see? I literally, while I was waiting for to start the stream, I literally recorded there and edited it like really, really quick. It was like, yeah, got to do this. And then I came live and I played it and I saw the time, the 5 whatever, and I thought, oh, no. That 5 something was supposed to be after I was at the top of Fuji. Right, so after you saw that, that's when it was supposed to go 5, whatever, and then me at the top of Fuji. So yes, the time was really off, and I knew that was going to give it away. I have a message, and it is from Victor. Hey, Victor. Hey, what's up? I'm on YouTube talking about you. Let's see what Victor's up to, because Victor is in England at the moment. Yeah, so the timing was definitely off on that one. The Back to the Future music was good. Do you know, where is that music in Back to the Future? Would you think it was at the beginning of Back to the Future? That's what I thought. So, like all day it was in my mind. It was like, diddling. And so I downloaded the beginning of Back to... It's not at the beginning of Back to the Future. The beginning of Back to the Future is a tick-tock, 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 but it's Marty walking in, going, hey, Doc, 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 I'm plugging in the guitar. And I'm thinking, I'm sure there's a diddling in it somewhere. But anyway. The tick, tick, tick didn't come from Back to the Future. I stole that on another thing. I was going to do the tick, tick, tick all the way through, but it got a bit much. So I thought, I'll just play tick, tick, tick there, and then I'll cut it. So that's what happened. He says. Victor says, what is YT? What are you doing today, Victor? Don't forget to take me some pics. Actually, maybe I can move Victor's chat over there and enlarge him. It's been a very long stream. We've just been chatting, Dylan. That's all we've been doing. We did cover a few things, but yes. What are you doing, Belle? Is that your toys? Wow. She's very good. Towards the end. Is it towards the end? I love Back to the Future. Do you like all of them? I thought everybody liked part 1, 2, and 3, but apparently some people just don't like part 2, and some people don't like part 3. Everybody likes part 1, but some people don't like part 2 and part 3. I thought they were all pretty good. What you doing, Belle? Where's your toys? Great movie. I never get sick of Back to the Future. I don't think anybody could get sick of Back to the Future. Where's your toys? Is that your toy? Great movie. Nothing new to update? No. Wow! Wow! Bella's got her Japan toys. Wow! That's pretty good, Belle. You have the whole DVD collection. Now thinking about it, when the first hits Hill Valley. Of course. Yes. Part 3 was alright. Definitely not as good as part 1 and 2. Bella. The problem I have with part 3 was the ending. That's the problem I had with part 3. I liked part 3. I've never known a movie before in history where they've had 3 sequels with exactly the same storyline. So really unusual in that extent. You would think we'd be bored with it. But the ending of Back to the Future Part 3 was just like, you know, all of these other movies have had a pretty cool ending or whatever. And Part 3 was just, it was like, okay, we've run out of energy filming this, and we're going to do just a shitty ending. It didn't look real. You know, the train the Doc came on, it just didn't look real. The interaction with Marty, it looked like they were filmed at 2 different times. You know what I mean? It didn't look like it was filmed with them all there. It just looked, as far as I'm concerned, clunky. But definitely, I could sit and watch Back to the Future. I would never get... Well, I don't. I'd never get sick of Back to the Future. I don't know what it's like in America, Dylan, but Russell will confirm this, at our TV in Australia, every second week they play Back to the Future. I'm sure they don't own any other movie apart from Back to the Future. So, yeah, it's pretty good. I think everyone likes part 2 because it was like hoverboard and tech and all this sort of stuff. Part 3, I don't know if you know this, but Michael J. Fox nearly died in part 3. The bit where he was being hung, they didn't put the safety collar on because Michael J. Fox used to do his own stunts. They forgot to put the safety collar on his on the noose, so he was actually being hung. So after that shot, when he had the croaky voice, he actually in real life had a croaky voice because he nearly died from that particular scene. I haven't watched cable in 10 years. Is cable free to air, or do you have to pay for cable? Had the Sports Almanac for 5,500. I've seen the Sports Almanac in Japan as well. I can't remember where I saw it. There's a DeLorean in Tokyo. I don't know if you know this. Near Rainbow Bridge in the shop Aqua City. When you go to Aqua City, in the basement area, you got to go like down basement. There is a free car museum that has 100 cars in, and all of them are in a stage set. So if they have a 007 type car, the stage set around it is 007. And of course they have a DeLorean, and with the DeLorean it's a Back to the Future set as well. And the good thing about the car museum in Aqua is there's no safety ropes and no staff. It's free to go in, and you can touch them. You can sit in them, you can have your photos in them and all that sort of stuff. So yeah. Hello, Super. How are you? How are you going with no Armadale train line, man? Oh, I've been watching a video about that. Perth. Love or hate Perth, I've got to say, Perth just has it going on. They just know what to do. For example, I'm sure it'd be the same in America, Dylan, but in Melbourne, for example, the public transport is disastrously shit. The rail system is so bad. And the governments here do little Band-Aid fixes, you know. It's like, oh, let's fix this one little bit of line and the rest is still crap. And next year we'll fix this little bit of line and it's still crap. Perth has it going on. They go, you know what? This line was built in the 70s or whatever. It's 2023. It's not good enough. We're going to rip up the whole thing. The whole system. Every single train station, every single piece of wire, every single bit of rail. We are going to build it brand new, latest tech, 2023, yada, yada, yada. And so that's what they did. The other day, they closed down, I think, the longest train line in Perth, certainly the oldest train line in Perth, and they just said, we're going to rebuild the whole thing. Amazing how they do that. I thought he was dragged down the street. He was dragged down the street without the safety thing on, yes, but the hanging was real choking him, apparently. When Marty skated to Doc Brown's house and grabbed the date that was filmed in... It was filmed in Burbank. Oh, I never knew that. My eyes are going. My God, what's going on here? And what's Victor said? I'm in Cambridge. I drove here. Long way. I have a friend from Argentina. He is a good man. You want me to introduce him to you because he's looking for a house? Yes, indeed. Please. Do send pics of Cambridge. Don't really have public shows with them. You Pirate Bay your shows. We do in Australia. In Australia, nobody has ever been charged or fined or anything for copyright of music or movies, because even though, you know, the Hollywood films or whatever says copyright, we actually don't have any copyright laws in Australia in relation to this. So to use Pirate Bay, etc., is like the government can do nothing about it. So, you know, I said to Victor, for example, or people, to, you know, when you're in Australia, download as much as you can. Oh my God, he's just sent pictures from Cambridge and a video. Amazing. I will upload these to the members section. Same with the Bayswater Bridge. Yeah. So Perth spends more on infrastructure than anywhere else on the planet, I'm pretty sure. And as I say, they just go, we're building it from scratch. Whether it be a highway or whatever, they just say, we're getting rid of it and we're redoing it. They're very good at that. So, or USA channel, TV is so bad. TV is real crap like that. Let me see if... Wow, he's in Cambridge. It looks beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Man. I'm like when I get good housemates from that are somewhat naive. So, for example, my friend from Brazil, who is like my best mate, I've known for 10, 15 years now, if not longer. Really naive when he came to live with us, just like Victor, very naive, knew nothing outside of Korea and the military. Didn't know how to cook, didn't know how to iron, didn't know how to do anything. And you help these little seedlings grow, and then they become adults, they become men, and you go, now is the time to set you free, and you set them free. And so Victor's gone over to the UK. We've set him free. But I'm still like, message me if anything goes wrong. You got to tell me what you're up to. You got to make sure you're okay. You're driving to Cambridge. Don't speed type thing. So, it's quite amazing. I have a new housemate, but not extremely happy. Victor has just said to me, though, that he knows somebody in Melbourne from Argentina. He is a good man. Do you want me to introduce you to him, because he's looking for a house? So if he knows Victor, he would be a good man. You got stressed from driving. Oh. He wants to drive. I don't know if you've seen the big roundabout in Paris around the Artre du Camp. That place, I don't know how to pronounce it. He wants to drive around that roundabout, and I said to him, you don't want to drive around that roundabout. You do not want to drive around that roundabout. There is no lanes on that roundabout. There's no markings whatsoever, and it's like 4 lanes of traffic. Artre du Camp, that place. It was a bit awkward because it's been some time since I had driven. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yes, I'm just about to ride the guided bus. Oh, nice. And do you drive back to London? There was no car insurance on that roundabout. Is that true? Well, see, until a housemate moves in, you never know what's going on, and of course, I have some rules being in the house. And I get a housemate for the other reason as well, which the housemate knows when they move in, and that is, of course, when I go overseas to Japan, they need to look after Bella, but in exchange, they don't pay rent, so they get to stay here for free, which is a pretty good deal, because they don't have to walk Bella or do anything. They've just got to feed her. But he moved in, and then all of a sudden he's talking about, I went out the other day looking for a dealer, and I found one, and I said, where do I buy, some stuff from, and yada yada. You see what I'm getting at here? And so I had to say to him, if I find that you bring anything like that into this house, you will be out of this house extremely quick. And then he said, oh, well, I'm going out to buy some tobacco. And we live in a complex, which I have no say about the rules of the complex, because it's all, what do they call? The body corporate. And you're not supposed to smoke in this building, this complex, whether it be on the balcony or anything. And he goes, oh, I'm going to go get tobacco. And I said, just so you know, you can't smoke in the property, which he knew anyway because it was advertised as non-smoking. And he said, Well, the neighbours smoke, and I smelt them smoking pot, so if they can do it, I can do it. And at which point I had to say to him, just because they do it doesn't mean you can do it, because this is my place under my lease, and if you do it, I can get in trouble. And he's going, yeah, but the neighbours do it. I said, I don't care what the neighbours do. I don't care if the neighbours get in trouble for it or not, or get kicked out or not, right? They're not under my lease. I don't give a rat's what they do, right? But I care about my lease, right? And my lease says no, okay? So when my lease says no, it's a no. And so because of it, when I'm here, I can ensure that stuff like this doesn't happen. So what he does in his spare time, I'm really not interested in. But I can ensure, that he won't smoke or anything like this. But of course, when I go away, when what do they say? When the something's away, the boys will play, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like if he's already questioning me, if they're doing it, I can do it. You sort of think, well, what are you going to do when I'm not here? And that's a concern I have. So yeah. But you never know until they move in, and you just got to make the call. So I will look for someone else. Yeah, he's out now. Friday night, man. Friday night. When the cat is away, the mouse will play. That was it. So I'll look for someone else. Victor knows somebody from Argentina. Then I'll give him his marching orders. I'll give him 2 weeks' notice. So I don't kick him out on the spot. I'll give him 2 weeks' notice. And yeah, problem waiting again. And sure, when people move in, things don't always work because people live differently. I have some things that just really bug me. For example, like bathroom door being open. It's like bathroom door must be closed always, right? I know a lot of you go to the toilet, go to the bathroom, leave the bathroom doors open. I don't know. For me, it's a tick. It's got to be closed, okay? When you come out, you close it. When you go in, you know what I mean? It's closed. So, like when Victor came, he'd always leave the door open. So I'd say to him, just close the door. Can you just close the door? But, over a period of time, you sort of like go, okay, well, this is how he lives and this is how I live. And, you come together and it all works out rather well. And with Victor, it worked out really well. With my previous housemate, it worked out pretty well. With my previous housemate, it worked out pretty well. I've had a few disastrous ones along the way, which I've had to turf out. But yeah, I make it very clear when I rent out the room of what the rules are. No drugs, no smoking. And again, like if I was in a house where you could smoke in the garden, that wouldn't bother me. I'd say no smoking inside, you can smoke outside. But quite simply, you're not allowed to smoke in this complex. It's as simple as that. It's in the lease. And yeah, so, Could this roommate be a squatter? No, because I'm the leaseholder and I live here. So if I gave him his marching orders, he refused to leave, I'd just call the police. That remove him from the property. He might turn all right. I look for the positive in people. After all, we see the good in you. Yes, true. He could turn out to be all right. But when you go out and look for a drug dealer, it's not really a good sign. But the thing is, dealing with it all is, if I was here all the time, like people said to me, I used to do Airbnb, and they said, how can you do Airbnb with what Airbnb guests can get up to? And I said, well, I'm here all the time. And so, like, if I was here all the time and he tried to do something, I'd just say to him, no. Do you know what I mean? And it would be fine. It would be absolutely fine. But the thing is, I'm going away in a few weeks, Dylan. This is where the problem is. So I'm going away to Japan in a few weeks, and I have to say, is he going to follow the house rules when I'm not here? And again, when I'm not here, what he gets up to, I really don't give a rat's about. You know what I mean? I really don't care. But the rule or the condition of moving into the place is, when I'm away, you look after Bella and you don't pay rent. right? Which is good. He saves it saves hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So it's a good deal for them. If they don't want to look after Bella, then they don't get the room type thing. It's a condition of the place. This is the only reason why I have a boarder. I don't have a boarder for any other reason apart from when I'm away, I need someone to look after Bella. And because I'm going away in a couple of weeks, I don't think that he will look after Bella. Already seeing him here, I see that he's really not interested in Bella anyway. Wouldn't pat her or recognize her existence or anything like that. So, because I'm not going to be here, if I was here, he would most probably become a good housemate because you would stay on top of it, but I'm not going to be here. That's the thing. Well, as I say, it's not how, I don't mind if they come in late or play loud music or whatever. I don't care about that, right? I really, really don't care about that. But if it comes to something that's in the lease, as I say, I don't care what the neighbours do. My lease says you can't do this. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, everything I choose about the border has always been about the dog. Victor, for example, when he moved in, I didn't think he was capable of looking after Bella. So I said to him, I said, I don't think you can look after Bella. You can't look after yourself, because he couldn't. He couldn't cook. He didn't know how to do laundry. He didn't know nothing. He was like, and it was like, oh my God, I'm going away for a month and I'm wanting you to look after Bella. So I actually had to sit down, and he was like, please give me a chance. And, I really want to look after her. So the first time I went away, I said, okay, you can't take her for a walk. She's got to stay here the whole time inside. But, he was different in the extent of when he moved in, he was showing Bella some affection. He was recognizing her existence. He'd open his door or sit with her or allow her to go in there and sit with him and everything. Where this guy is sort of like, in a way, anti-pet, you could say. So, it's just the way it is. Just the way it is. And again, it's only because I'm going away soon. Because I'm going away soon, I have to have somebody that I trust to look after Bella. But Victor says he knows somebody from Argentina looking for a place that's a good guy. If Victor says he's a good guy, I don't even need to think about this person. It's sort of like, I've seen the people that Victor socialized with and dealt with, and if he says that this person is good, then this person will be good. So anyway, we'll see how we go. Yeah, we got a few weeks to go anyway. There's a the other problem in Australia at the moment as well is everybody will say anything to get a place, because there's no places here. There is 0 places here. There are so many people wanting places here that all people will say, yes, we'll follow the rules, and yes, we like dogs, and yes, we do this to try get a place. And I think that's what he did. But he's a party animal, a drug that's into drugs. And he was doing the whole, he was like, I was saying to him the other day, I was going, no, you if you're even thinking about it, you will not bring anything like that into the property or be under the influence when you come in the property. And then he was trying to justify it, and he's going, oh yeah, but do you know what it's really like? Like, have you tried it before? And you should try it before you judge it and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, why am I having this conversation with you? I shouldn't be having this conversation with you. It's like it's a it's a no. You know what I mean? I don't need to try anything. I don't need your explanation about it. It is a drug-free house. Full stop. Do you get your locks changed? No, because you need a fob. You need a touch thing to get in and out. Hey, Super Pups. Yeah, I'm going very soon. My eyesight's starting to go now. I'm really, really tired. It's been a very long stream, but I was showing the video before. Have a check of it a little bit later, Super Pups, at the beginning of the video, where I got to the top of Mount Fuji. Have a look at it. And since then, we've just been chatting and discussing Sapporo Christmas next year and a whole lot of other stuff as well. It's been a very long stream. But yeah, I'm starting to get real tired now. And I'm really tired. How you been, Super Pup? Before I go, you always come late, and then I always feel guilty that I'm going. But we have been on a long time. That's the thing. What's been happening? Ducksuit is out of here. What's happening to the housemates? Just, I don't think. I just don't think appropriate for here. I don't think he'll be able to look after Bella. Quite simply. You have a good one, everyone. Good night, Dylan. Wow, still going. The Osho. I'm just about to go. Yeah. But yeah, you don't know about the housemates until they move in, quite simply. And then once they move in, then you figure out about them. And I think this one's more of a party animal into the pharmaceuticals, if you could say, to word it nicely. Certainly not the sort of person that would look after Bella. Yeah. But anyway. Yeah, you'll go soon as well. I'm going as well because I'm really tired. I'm sorry, Super Pups, to be running off as soon as you've arrived. Sorry about that. But have a look at the beginning of the stream. It has been a long stream. We've covered a lot of things. We showed a video. We showed going up Mount Fuji and all that sort of stuff. I wouldn't trust him with Bella. No, exactly. And it all comes down to that. He's not out yet because I'll have to get another housemate before he's out. But Victor, by the sounds of it, Victor knows somebody. So, you know. If Victor knows somebody and he says they're a good guy, then that'd be a good guy. Because I think Victor really only knows people from like his church and that. So, yeah. We'll see. But yeah. My housemate, it always comes down to, do I trust them to look after Bella? Because that's why they're here. Okay? They get paid, so to speak, to look after Bella. It's a condition of living here. And I just don't think this one is appropriate. But anyway, we've got a couple of weeks to sort it out. Good night. I am extremely tired. I'm extremely fatigued. If you didn't watch me getting to the top of Mount Fuji, watch the beginning of this stream because there is a video there. Have a good night, everybody, until we meet again. I will upload Victor's stuff to the members section so you can see where he is and what he's doing. We'll see you again soon.